Hello, everyone. Welcome. We are the XoneBros. This is your positive gaming and Xbox One community.
Woo!
This is podcast number 138. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Black Friday. A lot of other podcasts take this week off. Not us. No Wade. No way. No how. I was going to say No Way Jose, but I forgot the name Jose.
You forgot the name Jose, huh?
Yes, I could say No Way Jose. We are here. We are dedicated. Wow. Because this is the best community on the internet. As always, I am joined by the bros, the XoneBros. First and foremost, Spicy Fact 237. Mark starts his Thanksgiving morning at 4:30 a.m. where he goes and stalks and kills his own turkey, picks pumpkins for pie, and squeezes fresh cranberries for sauce. He does all this before 4:45. It's Mr. McSpicy Mark Haywood.
I do love my food.
Yes, you do. How was your Thanksgiving?
It just ended a couple hours ago.
More importantly, how was your Black Friday? What did you purchase for the Xbox One?
For the Xbox One? Ooh, I have a list. It was those deals, man.
They got to you.
I know now, I used to have a hard time shopping with my wife or with anybody at a store because I'm so bored. And I just want stuff that works, so I go up, this pants works. Why do we have to look at anything else? I'm done. And but man, I get it now. When there's deals, for example, I'm not a Telltale guy.
No,
okay?
That's Telltale for the Everything series, the Telltale Master series. There,
I bought every Telltale game because it was 90% off.
Oh, yeah. I mean that is such a good deal. I would have slapped you if you didn't.
I'm probably never gonna play it.
Game of Thrones, you will. You will.
You
like
think
Game
so?
Of Thrones. Oh, yeah.
Well, you should see my Steam library. Whenever they have that summer sale. I buy games that don't work for my computer anymore, that only work on like Windows 95. Because I have to have it if it's 30 cents.
It's just laying there. You got to do something with it. You just can't let it stay there.
Yeah. So I bought a lot of games. I got Forza Horizon 3.
Oh, I'm so excited to play that with you. You will like that.
Yeah, should we play that tonight instead of Survival? Because
I really want to extract in Survival. Well, I got a little taste of getting so close today.
Yeah.
You even got an achievement.
Divinity Original Sin, I picked up.
Oh, man, you will like that one.
There's a list. I think I bought over 20 games.
Wow.
Because there were a lot of games that were on sale and that I wanted to play eventually.
Well, this was your day.
I actually got them. Since they were going on all week, I got them throughout the week. So,
Well, this was your week.
Yeah.
This was your week.
And I got an Xbox 360 One S Minecraft edition for the nephews.
The Xbox One S.
The One S.
Very nice.
Yeah, so I'm super excited.
That is very exciting. I think you should keep it
for them.
But
and I didn't just buy this. I'm not rich, just so everyone knows. I'm not rich by any means. I just like my video games, and I want others to enjoy video games too. So I went in with the parents and stuff.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's a really cool gift.
Yeah.
Second, family is still annoyed after Thanksgiving dinner when all conversation is put in hold so he can go take a shower. It's Jordan the man, Jordan Paskett.
Hello.
Best thing.
That shower reference is never going to end. I love it.
Best Black Friday purchase for you.
I got Captain America for $7.
Oh, very nice. That is.
I didn't actually buy any games.
This is the Civil War. The Civil War.
Yeah, Civil War. And then I got a couple of. I really just bought DVDs this year.
Yeah, that was me too.
Yeah.
That was me. I was a DVD man. I almost got NBA 2K17 myself, but wasn't deep enough discount for me. It was still $41.99, which is a great deal, and I really want that game. But I have so many other games to play right now. If I wait a little longer, it might go on sale deeper. I might be able to hit that deeper.
We always want to go deeper.
Yes. On sales we do, yes. Yes, we do. Last but not least, I'm thankful for my daughter Brock Osweiler not being a Bronco and for the Pokemon Go fad being dead. It is X1. I am X1. We are the XoneBros. Guess what, everybody?
What?
Clubs are here. Woo! The XoneBros Club is here. If you haven't joined it yet, you're stupid. No, actually, you're not. No, head over and join it. It's a great place to meet. I jumped in with Zula Bus this week. He threw up a LFG in the XoneBros Club and was like, "Hey, I need someone to play ESO with." And I was like, "Hey, I want to play ESO," and so we connected via the Xbox clubs.
Jordan also said that he wanted to do it.
Yes, and was going to join us,
but
forgot that he didn't have the game downloaded, and that's a 70 gig
Do we need to
game.
move your mic closer to your mouth?
Yeah, I think we do.
We do, because Jordan. That's not even close to your mouth. It sounds like you're over
Turkey,
the internet.
man. He's tired from turkey.
Yeah.
Bunch of turkey.
That'll do it. What's that chemical in turkey that makes you
Something
tired?
with an L.
Yeah,
Same
some
thing
big
as
L
in
word.
Chinese food.
So, is it? Is it really?
Every time I'm tired after every time I eat Panda Express.
Yeah.
Or any Chinese food actually.
So am I. Actually, that's a great
That's
point.
called MSG, I think. Monosodium glutamate or whatever.
Anyways, the XoneBros Club is there. Go join it. It's a great place. We're in chat almost every day. Checking out chat. We also, Troubadour XP is putting together community highlight videos, community spotlight videos that drop every week. I believe the highlight of the week this last week was actually Jord the Man with his Titanfall
Really?
rope
Oh,
crush.
yeah. Yeah, that was pretty
video.
cool. I'll have to watch that one.
Yeah, you are the clip of the highlight of the week.
That
this
was
week.
pretty cool with that.
But if you want your videos to be submitted, you got to join the XoneBros clubs, and then you got to upload your clips. Just share it with the club, and it automatically drops in, and that's where all the videos are pulled from. But go join those clubs. It's just a great way to play with cool people in the community and get to know us all. And it's what a fantastic tool. Xbox is on fire with stuff like this.
Yeah.
This is just a great tool. Another good way to bring people together through gaming. Yes.
What a good thing to have.
We had our Community Unity event last Saturday.
yeah, that
It's the
was-
third Saturday of every month, so stay tuned for the third Saturday in December. And we will have our next Community Unity event. But Jordan, how did it go this week?
Good, really good.
It was Titanfall 2 that we played.
Yes.
And how was it?
It was fun.
It was.
We even jumped in because at one point we just had 8 people.
Yeah.
So we just jumped into a quick multiplayer match, and we didn't remember that.
We went
played,
like I think we went like 2-1, right? Or 3-1.
we won the first one. We lost the second one, and the third one we had a miraculous comeback.
Oh, we did.
yeah,
That's
remember,
right.
It was
we did have
fantastic. It was cool. It was to the wire.
to the wire.
The score was 75 to 72.
Yes.
it was good.
Yes.
Fun game.
Fun game. Really fun game.
And then isn't there a clip of me getting?
There was a clip of Jordan.
I don't know how to say
We
it.
were doing
I don't know
Titan
what
versus
I'm allowed to
Titan,
say on the
and
radio,
Jordan was
you know,
getting
but,
he was getting crushed in the
Yeah.
corner. He was getting mugged. It was raped. I mean,
Yeah.
Jordan was raped literally
by 4 other
by
Titans.
4 other
Literally?
Titans.
Yeah, like it was, and there's a clip of it going around.
Everyone.
Like,
It was
I
crazy.
was like, my Titan was like on the ground. And it was
yeah.
it was bad.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad.
Anyways, that was a great time. I would like to do more of those. Titanfall is my favorite shooter at the moment.
yeah, that's a good one.
It's so much fun, and it was fun to have us all be an entire team. Have everyone from the community be an entire team. That was just a great time, and we did pretty well. Everyone was pretty decent too, so tons of fun. Anyways, Community Unity events, third Saturday of every month. Post-show Poker Nights is the second Friday of every month. We put up LFGs. That's another reason to join the XoneBros Club over on Xbox Live because we put up LFGs in advance, so anyone and everyone can have a chance to join those. And I think that's all the news for this week. We do have news on Discord.
Discord.
On Discord.
That's like
Discord.
would you like some spaghetti? I got some bananas in the kitchen.
Yes, I'm just a higher class of language here.
No, we're setting up a Discord for the community. So we will be posting it this week in the forums and probably on our Twitters and stuff like that.
And in the club.
In the club and all that stuff. So we now have an official Discord, so stay tuned. And what Discord is, for those that don't know, it is basically Skype plus TeamSpeak plus Slack, all mixed into one. It's a great place to come hang out. Game it up. It's a good place for LFG, for looking for groups to play with on Overwatch. If you don't have a laptop, for example, because it is generally speaking a PC-based program, you can get an app downloaded on your phone for Android or Apple or whatever, and it works just as well.
And it works. In fact, in my opinion, I think it works better. It's just so much more convenient. Sometimes we'll be playing like Civilization, for instance, and we're in Discord, and I'm not on my computer with it. I just plug my Turtle Beach headset into my phone, and I'm through the phone playing with these guys.
Yeah.
Talking.
Super cool. It's really easy to connect. What we'll do is we'll set up in the forums or wherever we put this, we'll set up a link. You just click on that, and then It'll have instructions on how to get set up, but we are doing an official Discord now, so
Yes.
it's super exciting to get a lot of people getting to chat and to game with each other, and it's just another thing we're trying to do to get everything together. So yeah.
And there is no limit on the amount of people that can be in a lobby or a room at any time. That's why we're doing it, because there are limitations on Xbox Live as of right now.
Yeah.
Also, for all of the volunteers that did write me about writing, expect an email in the next 2 weeks, and we'll get things started. We are primarily going to be organizing that within that Discord app. So everyone that's going to be writing for us, make sure you download that Discord app on your phone, and we will have a room, a lobby, a chat set up just for the writers, the volunteers that are writing for that. So it's a great thing, very exciting. And with that, let's get this show on the road. Jordan, what is happening in the world that is Xbox One this week?
All right, not much.
Not much, because it's
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
So happy Thanksgiving,
Yeah,
everybody.
thank you.
Happy,
Thank you.
joy.
I think we're all thankful for the XoneBros community.
Yes,
I know I am.
I am.
Yeah. Of course I am.
All right, first thing in the news, Walking Dead Season 3 is set for December. It's December 20th, for those of you who want a specific date.
Very nice.
But yeah, set for December 20th, and it's A New Frontier is what it's titled. So this is on the whole brand new engine that Batman's on, and
That'll
all
be
that,
interesting.
yeah.
I do feel that Walking Dead is the
what is her
weakest
name?
of the Telltale stories, so I really hope they bring it back.
Yeah,
with this.
I think they were good when they came out.
Yeah,
but
because
then,
it was new. What it did.
But like if you were to play Batman now and then go back and play Walking Dead,
It just doesn't. It
it's
doesn't
not-
grab you
yeah,
in the
yeah,
same way.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Season 3, December 20th. And along with Telltale, Batman released its Episode 4
Yes,
this
it
week,
did.
titled Guardian of Gotham. It is a picture of Arkham Asylum with a silhouette of everyone's
Now,
favorite villain.
let me ask you, Jordan, because your big complaint, both of our big complaint, is that we had to play.
I'm
episode
going to
1.
wait till they're done.
Because how many is there? 5?
I think there's 5, and this is 4, right?
I think you
believe
could
it's
start
5.
now
I
and
probably
go
could.
through.
I probably could start now. So, because I'm halfway. Did I finish? No, I'm like right at the end of the second episode. But yeah, it's out though, and it looks fun.
That is exciting.
So be sure to check those out, and that's what we got from Telltale.
Woo! Telltale.
Jordan,
I am now an official member of that community.
Yes, you
Yeah,
are,
that's
in a
right.
big way.
That's right.
I can't pass up a 90% off deal.
We have
Possible.
we have Skyforce Anniversary now available for digital pre-order and download.
This
on the
looks
Xbox One.
like a ton of fun. It is a classic arcade style shooter, airplane shooter, where your bird's eye view of like your helicopter or your plane shooting things down. Remember those? Big Spicy?
Yeah.
Tons. This looks awesome. I'm really excited for this.
Wait, so you're over like a Galaga kind of a thing?
Like a Galaga.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah. Cool.
Top down. It's great.
I gotta always reference the 80s when we're
Why
talking
not?
video games.
We are the 80s.
We also have Acorn Assault for you furry friends out there. Rodent Revolution.
Oh, yes.
Acorn Assault Rodent Revolution is now available for digital pre-order and download.
I know
on
the
Xbox
rodents
One.
at my house revolt frequently.
Yes.
Yes.
Are you talking about actual rodents? Do you have rodents?
No, I have subscribed to a pest control
Oh,
place, yes, and it's fantastic. And you know what made me do it?
What?
Living in Jordan's basement for like 5 months. There was hundreds of spiders down
Yeah.
there.
ooh.
Yeah.
So we don't here, but you'll notice there's not bugs. We have
Yes.
the cats are amazing.
Cats are amazing, yes.
They went in our other place. We had just moved into a new field, which is similar to this place.
Sure.
Our cats would seriously grab a couple voles.
couple mice a day.
Yeah, mice a day. It's great.
Why not? You
Yeah.
cook those up.
We're all natural here,
have 'em
baby.
for dinner,
We
you
don't
know?
use those terrible chemicals or
Yeah, yeah.
pesticides.
See, I prefer.
We don't ruin the ozone.
See, I
David.
prefer incredibly toxic and dangerous chemicals as
the
opposed to cats.
It's the American way, baby.
That's-
You want those
how I-
things-
that's
you
how
want
I
those
roll.
Bugs to suffer.
I want bugs, animals.
I don't go into their home.
Everything. Yeah, they don't. I don't go to your. I don't come out to where you live, Mr. Mouse, and
Yeah.
dig up your hole.
yeah.
Do you know where the worst?
And you can say, but you took their home. That's because I'm stronger than them.
That's just the natural order of things.
Did we apologize after World War II was over? I think
Does
not.
does a
Do I
giant
apologize to?
does a giant apologize when they come and take us over?
No.
No. Did Godzilla apologize to Japan?
No, he did not.
No, he did not.
Because
It's the natural order.
yes, the hierarchy, if you will.
You know what? I cannot argue.
No, you can't.
You know what? I'm gonna kill my cats and get some pesticides. You've sold me.
We also have 10 Tons Adventure Puzzle Box now available for Xbox One. This is Azken 2 and Sparkle 2.
Oh yeah.
So for you Azken and Sparkle people out there, your sequels are here.
Your
in a bundle.
are here in a big way.
Enigmatus.
There
you go. I'll help
2,
you out.
The Mist of Ravenwood. That's actually a good book title, like David and the Mist of Ravenwood.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
Enigmatus.
That could be the next Harry Potter book. You know
That
what I
could
mean?
be, yeah.
That's a good.
Is this like a puzzler?
I don't know. I just like the title. That's why it's in the
Because
news.
when I think of Enigmatus, I think of, was it Enigma, the Riddler?
Oh yeah.
And that's like
Enigma. Yeah.
Remember what's the Riddler's real name? Edward Nigma.
Edward Nigma.
Yes.
Enigma.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's got to be a puzzle game.
He's
I
a
just
great
like
character in Gotham.
I just like
He's
the
one of my
Mist
favorite characters in Gotham, actually.
of Ravenwood.
He actually, he's really good in that.
Yeah.
He really is.
The Mist.
I like
of
him because he's they have him like as a good guy, kind of,
Yeah.
but he's not.
He's a good guy, just a little bit crazy.
twisted.
A little crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can also try this game free, just so you guys know, if you are curious about.
Oh
what
yeah,
goes
we're
on
talking about video
in
games, right?
The Mist of
And-
Ravenwood.
Enigmatus 2, The Mist of Ravenwood. Oh.
You can be sure to try this out. So yeah, that's cool. Pro Evolution Soccer 2017 Trial Edition is now available for Xbox One. So trial meaning you can try it out.
It's free to play. Go check it out. In fact, I might check this out because I'm curious. It definitely has a following in competition with FIFA 17, and so I'm curious. I'm always curious, but I never have taken the time to actually try Pro Evolution Soccer. I'm interested to see what it does. People have told me that, especially in the managing aspect of it, it's much more simulator,
Which is right up your alley.
which I love.
You love telling people what to do.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
It's my dream to just control the world, micromanage everybody.
Yeah.
That's so I like when I can do that in a video game.
Well, I'm glad that there's a video game
No,
out there.
but I hear that that's what Pro Evolution Soccer is.
Yeah.
I'm really curious. A lot of people that obviously the people that buy Pro Evolution Soccer say that they prefer it to FIFA. So
Wow. Yeah,
There you go.
okay.
Yeah. All right. We also got the Kinect Mega Bundle 4-in-1. This is 4 games in one. So if anybody still has their Kinect, which I actually do,
I do
it's
too.
currently not hooked up, but I have it.
Nor
I
is
think
mine.
I got it somewhere.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mine's not hooked up either.
So, but yeah, the Kinect 4-in-1 bundle is now available for Xbox One. So if you need some new Kinect games or you just want to jump back into your Kinect, that's a good place to start.
That it is. See,
Okay.
Ryan H in chat says Pro Evolution Soccer has better and smoother gameplay than FIFA.
FIFA,
Interesting. Korak says I can't micromanage him.
Watch him. He'll do it. He'll find a way. He's good.
The Little Acre is now available for digital pre-order and download on the Xbox One, as well as Her Majesty's Spiffing
Yeah,
is
this
now
looks
available
hilarious.
for Xbox,
Excuse me?
or now
I-
available for pre-order on Xbox
This looks
One.
hilarious.
Yeah.
I would like to try this game.
It
out.
actually
It's-
does look really fun.
It's 1849. It looks hilarious. I'd like to really
Yeah,
get one
Spiffing.
Totally like a Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spiffing is a unit, if you will. They are the Special Planetary Investigation Force for Inhabiting New Galaxies,
Yeah, it looks hilarious.
abbreviated or commonly known as Spiffing. But yeah, it actually looks pretty fun, and it comes out on December 7th, but you can go ahead and pre-order it now. We also have Fury, now available for digital pre-order and download on the Xbox One, if anybody is interested in that as
So,
well.
yeah.
And actually, this one
I've seen that game, by the way. That game looks fun. Looks way
Yeah,
fun.
yeah, it's a sword play game, and from
Yeah.
what I hear, it's actually very difficult. It's
yeah.
it's not supposed to be an easy.
High challenge.
Yeah, yeah, and this one also. Oh, this one comes out December 2nd. So, but you can go ahead and pre-order it now as well. Big one because I actually really liked this game. Darksiders War Master Edition is now available for Xbox One. This is a remastered of the first Darksiders. So I know Darksiders 2 is already out and remastered on the Xbox One. But if you want to go where it all began and play as War. I liked War actually better than Death as a character, but that's just me.
Yeah.
Darksiders is really
But
cool.
yeah, Darksiders is really cool. And get this, the remastered edition is only $20. So if you're looking to pick up a good game for $20, why not?
That's the one for you.
So very, very cool. I'm really excited for that gun. That gun.
That gun?
That
You're
game.
really
That
excited for that
gun.
gun?
You should see the guns he has in that game.
That is true.
Now he has crazy weapons, swords, and chakrams, and all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Deals with gold this week, which basically everything. I mean,
I mean, if you think
you
about
really
it.
can't. You really can't beat it. One though, I think there's actually all three of them are good. You know, really. The one that really stuck out to me though, that I think a lot of people should try, and I still have to try because I've heard it's really fun, but it just gets overshadowed by Dark Souls a lot. Is Lords of the Fallen.
Lords of the Fallen. We
Yeah.
actually own that game. I
We do
purchased
own
it.
that.
I own
game.
that too.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is good. I feel like it's a little more control-wise, a little more polished feeling, like less. I don't know if less gritty is the right word. More polished though.
Yeah. I think the
In
reason
the engine or in like the controls?
In the controls, like
Yeah.
the controls don't feel as heavy.
Okay.
Maybe polished is the wrong word. Lighter. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's less heavy, which I don't know because Dark Souls. There's a reason that it feels like that, and it fits the world. It's not that the controls are bad by any means, but it just feels a little bit different
Yeah.
in Lords of the Fallen.
Okay.
So I know the reason I didn't pick up or haven't played Lords of the Fallen is because Dark Souls was multiplayer and this one is not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lords of the Fallen is only single player, which doesn't, that doesn't hurt a game in any way, but it's just Dark Souls was the same thing plus multiplayer,
Yeah,
So
the
it's
big
kinda-
one of the deals of this week, in my opinion, is
Yeah, it
Divinity Original Sin, 75% off. That's probably McSpicy when you picked it up,
Yeah.
I would imagine. That is a fantastic game. That's an award-winning game, in my opinion.
There's also Dead Island, the collection for 50% off. And, did we say how much? By the way, everybody, Lords of the Fallen is 67% off, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, Lords of the Fallen. And then Elite Dangerous, Standard Edition, 33% off.
Yeah, baby.
So not bad if you haven't gotten Elite Dangerous yet, or if you're just hankering for more Frontier after playing Planet Coaster for the past week, then that's your game.
That is your game, yes.
Frontier just released.
Yeah, Planet Coaster.
Yeah,
Saw
their
that.
new roller coaster.
Looks
I've been
good.
playing it all week.
Oh, you
You have been?
I'm a big roller coaster tycoon fan.
Oh,
Remember,
yeah.
I really enjoyed.
Now,
Spring
do you
Ride?
get the entire amusement park?
Yep. It's
Oh.
It's basically, if you will. I mean, I know there's a roller coaster for Tycoon 4 coming out, but this is basically like,
What it should be.
what I think.
What
So-
you think Roller Coaster Tycoon
So
should
because
be.
roller coaster, everybody likes Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 the best, but I like Roller Coaster Tycoon 3
Uh-huh.
the best, and that's the one that Frontier took over on, and then
Yeah.
the Roller Coaster Tycoon went with someone else, so they came and made Planet Coaster, and But it's a good time.
Frontier, I know them.
Yeah,
What-
they make Elite Dangerous, and they make.
That's
Roller
why
Coaster
I know
Tycoon.
them.
Yeah.
Okay, good. They're good.
so-
I like them.
But yeah,
Hey,
it's-
those guys. I like those guys.
Yeah. So it's a cool game. But yeah, Frontier's a good developer, and Elite Dangerous is continuously getting updates. So,
So there you go.
but I think Elite Dangerous will start to dominate when they bring controls.
Yeah,
over.
when-
When they let you
When you can plug in a joystick
Yeah.
to your Xbox,
because on the
I
PC
am
you can do
there.
that, and I watch people play it on the PC, and it just feels
It just
better.
It just is awesome.
So I mean I have Elite Dangerous, and I really like the combat mode in it. But if they ever do that, like let it come over to the Xbox.
That's
that
nothing.
would be
McSpicy shared a video with me, or someone did. Was it you, McSpicy? that
I'm sure
shared
it was
the-
me.
the,
I don't even know what you're talking about, but I'm sure it was me.
So a VR with Elite
Oh
Dangerous.
yeah, it was with the kid with the baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I showed you this.
And the people have in Elite Dangerous, when you're piloting your spaceship, you look down and you're sitting in a seat, and you can see your hands with both controls.
You have a left joystick and a right joystick, just like a Sidewinder.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
And so what people do on the PC is they're in VR, and then they have both of those controls sitting here. So when they look down in VR, they see their hands controlling, and then you know how you have those screens in your ship all around. This guy inserted his baby cam into VR in his game, so when he looks down on one of his screens in his ship is his baby.
Yeah,
it's
so
so
it's,
cool.
and it's like floating there. It's one of his monitors is his baby monitor, so he's exploring space and checking on his baby sleeping.
All
Oh,
in
shoot, I'm
VR.
in Mars. I got to get back to Earth.
And that is so cool. Just and
Yeah.
if you can do that, Project Scorpio brings VR with Elite Dangerous and joystick
Oh, yeah.
capabilities. I am all over that.
That would be
I don't think I'm playing another game for years.
We also have
So cool.
We have Dead Island, which I already talked about, which I think is a great game. Excuse me, and that's a good sale, 50% off. But If you want this game, I would rather if I had to, I'd rather pick up Dying Light. It's
Dying Light versus Dead Island.
Yeah.
It's just an improved version.
It is.
Dead
It's
Island.
an improved version of Dead Island. I mean, unless you've already played Dying Light and you just want to go back and play Dead Island for the story, which there's not too much of.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can do that. But I mean, still a good deal. So fun stuff. Smite has all its deals 33% off for the gems and stuff like that, which is great. But we also have Black Friday deals, and pretty much all the same deals,
Yeah.
But you have some bigger ones. You have Titanfall. The best one I think I saw was Titanfall and Battlefield bundled together, Battlefield 1, and I think it was $70. But my brother-in-law found the same bundle at the store, just separately, for $60. And I think,
whoa,
yeah, so he
okay.
got 10. He even saved an extra $10 from that digital sale. But I still think that's one of the best digital sales I've seen because that's two new games.
Oh man,
for $70. That's
you
a
really
good
can't
deal.
beat that.
Yeah. So, and I think Overwatch is on sale too for the 3 people that haven't bought an Overwatch yet, because I think that game has over 15 million active players. So yeah, Overwatch is on sale as well. FIFA 17 is on sale, and NBA 2K for 30% for gold members. But you said that
maybe
wasn't quite enough.
well, it makes it like $41.99. Maybe I'll get that. The thing is, I'm just playing too many. McSpicy, you just bought like 20 games. Aren't you afraid that you'll never play those games?
Yes.
Absolutely. I know I'm never going to play most of them.
But you have them, and that's what's important.
It's just
See,
me.
and I really want NBA. I really want 2K17. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm leaving. I'm out. I can't take it.
You're done.
I can't take it.
Yes, Overwatch is on
Clocking
sale,
out.
by the way. I think it's 30 to 40% is what Xbox Live is telling me. But check this out. So we had FIFA, NBA, and Battlefield 1, which are all good. And then you have that Titanfall Battlefield 1 bundle, which is good. But we got the Windows Play Anywhere games, right?
Yeah.
Quantum Break, Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Yes.
Oh, no, sorry, just Quantum Break was and Forza Horizon. I was looking at the wrong list. Forza Horizon, Play Anywhere.
Forza Horizon 3.
Yeah, Forza Horizon 3, sorry.
Yeah.
Is a Play Anywhere. Is Quantum Break a Play Anywhere? I thought it was.
Yes, it is.
Is it a Play Anywhere?
It is a Play Anywhere.
Yeah. Those are on sale.
They are. Also, Rainbow Six, Vero in chat just mentioned Rainbow Six
Yeah,
Siege
Rainbow
is on
Six.
sale.
And Rainbow Six just came out with their new DLC. So
their new DLC
right
and said they're going to support it for another year.
yeah, because Rainbow Six is actually a fun game.
Yeah. Very fun.
Actually, funny story.
Unless you play with Jono
Against Jono.
or even with him and he makes you feel stupid.
We might not be able to play with him on his Rainbow Six Xbox for much longer because he told me before the show today. He said, "Jordan, let me tell you something."
Oh,
And
okay.
I said, "Okay, what do you want to tell me?"
Okay.
And he said, "You know what? I think when I start buying these games like Rainbow Six, I'm going to get them on the PC." And I said, "Why? Better frame rate, better graphics and stuff?" He said, "No. That's where the competition is."
Oh.
And I said, "Oh, man."
Oh. That's how good this kid
I
is.
said, wow. I said, if you buy it on the PC, I'll buy it on the PC too, and we'll play with each other. And he said, okay, because he's building his new PCs. He's looking at different parts. And
I mean, as these games come out, especially if as Microsoft games come out, the Play Anywhere, he doesn't. He gets them
that'll
on
be
one, he
great.
gets it on the other. So
Rise of the Tomb Raider, I think, would be a good game to pick up. I like the Tomb Raider reboot. I think it's good. I haven't beaten Rise of the Tomb Raider yet because of other games, but I'm halfway through it, and it's fun. So, and then of course, and actually I saw people buying this at the store yesterday, and I even told them that's a good game, and I told them my frustrations with it. Ori and the Blind Forest.
Oh man! Wait a minute. What is your frustration?
I know what it is. I know what it is. It got too hard in the tree level with the water.
No,
That's what it was.
Well, it's not just that. I'm not a platforming guy. But I said
it's true.
I said I'm not that into platformers. But if I were to buy a platformer,
That
it
would
would
be
be
the
that
one.
one. And the guy was like, "Good, I'm getting it."
It's true. It blew my mind actually, because Jordan in most games is probably better than me. Not in sports games. I crush his ass every time we play. Particularly Madden. Racing games, I also can just plow him into a wall.
No, you didn't.
So
You didn't.
No,
we should
okay,
record.
not the first lap.
no.
You get into
Well,
his head.
Jordan in Horizon, since it's more arcadey, Jordan is really good, but I still beat him.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Remember when I used a jump to jump over your car? on the beach?
That was good. That was
Yeah.
good.
Remember that one time out of how many
No,
hours?
we should
on
all-
Horizon, Jordan does beat me.
We should
but
all
in
play
6, he
the
doesn't.
Goliath match in Horizon.
Yeah, the
'Cause
Goliath race.
That's a race and a half.
That is a race and a half.
So-
Anyways, as I was saying, Jordan is better at a lot of games. minus Madden. And so when I saw him playing Ori and the Blind Forest, I'm not Mark. Mark, that's like Mark's genre.
Yeah,
but I'm like an average. I'm average, you know. But Jordan just couldn't do it. I was blown away. I was like, "What is wrong?" And he's like throwing his controller at the TV. And
Well, see, that's how I feel with Madden.
Yeah.
Like when you are going outside of your comfort zone with games, then
but it's
get
just
frustrated.
interesting that everybody really does have like games that
Their genre.
their genre that they excel at.
Anyway,
because I like hard games. Madden's way too easy. Just kidding.
Even
Anyway,
through
yeah.
that frustration,
So
though,
I told
it's still
it's still a good game.
still
I
a
told that
great
guy who
time.
bought it, and he bought it. I told him it was a good game.
Oh,
so
yeah.
the guy that bought it at Best Buy last night. Now for the Play Anywhere titles, you got Gears of War 4, Forza Horizon 3, and ReCore.
Oh yeah.
Which are all good deals. So be sure to check them out. And speaking of more games, we got next month's Games with Gold. So this is December 2016 Games with Gold, and I actually think it's a good month for one game. I already have Outlast, so that's one of the games. Outlast.
We already own that. Yes. The other one though is
The other
fantastic.
one is Sleeping Dogs,
Yes.
which I never bought,
Nor did I.
and
I did.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
I think I got it on the PC, I believe.
Oh,
so
I
don't
think
have it
I
on the-
actually have it on the PC as well.
Yeah.
Now that
See, and
you mentioned that.
what's interesting though is like I never bought this game, and I don't think I ever would have bought this game. But now that it's free, like I'm actually like, oh, you know what? I'm really excited to play it.
Yeah.
You know, like it's exciting. So we got Sleeping Dogs from December 1st all the way through the 31st.
The 360 ones are fantastic as well.
Yes, and yes.
And yes, and yes.
And then we have Outlast from December 16th to January 15th,
That's the
and then you have
360.
Outland for the 360 from December 1st to the 15th, which is backward compatible, so you can play it on the
Yeah.
Xbox One. And then the big one, get out your webcams,
Get out
because
your
Burnout
webcams.
Paradise
Oh, I love this game.
is free to play, free to download, free for you from December 16th to the 31st
What will be interesting
for the 360. But
what will be
backwards
interesting,
compatibility.
especially for McSpicy, who was really into Burnout, a 1-to-1 comparison Burnout Horizon 3.
Can they be compared though? Because Burnout Paradise wasn't exactly simulator-esque.
Neither is Horizon.
Wait, I thought it had some.
It has.
Well, it's a little
it
bit
has-
more, but it's definitely more arcade.
In my
Forza's
opinion,
arcade.
Okay.
in my opinion, it finds the sweet spot.
I love Paradise. Burnout Paradise.
Who doesn't like Paradise?
The music soundtrack in that
It was
is so
Guns N'
good.
Roses. That was the entire.
There's lots.
that was-
Yeah,
it
there's
was Guns N' Roses. Yeah.
There's a lot of good ones.
But anyway, yeah. And in other news, Burnout Paradise just came to backward compatibility this week, so they got it into Games of Gold just in time.
Oh,
So if you want to buy it, you can, or if
Yeah.
you already have it, you can start playing it already.
Yeah.
But if you don't have it, you can wait till December. Wait for December 16th. And it'll
Yeah.
be out for
Absolutely.
everybody.
Sleeping
So-
Dogs is basically, if you missed this, Sleeping Dogs is basically Grand Theft Auto. If you were Chinese and did all your, you know how you walk down the street and punch a lady in the face to take her money?
yeah.
Yeah.
You cold cock them with like Trevor. Now you can do spinning roundhouse kicks and all this other stuff. It's basically
literally the Chinese expansion to Grand
to
Theft
Grand Theft Auto. It's a very good game.
Did you know? Fun fact: every MMO has a Chinese expansion.
Really?
Yeah, there's not one I can think of that does not have a Chinese expansion.
Like World of Warcraft is the Mists of
Yeah, Mr.
Pandaria?
Pandaria, Chinese expansion.
Okay.
Guild Wars 1 had a Chinese expansion.
What about Elder Scrolls? Online?
Elder Scrolls, well, who knows what they're doing? honestly.
Assassin's Creed had a China edition.
Yeah,
didn't
see,
they?
and that's not even an
That's not even
MMO.
an MMO.
I think there's just something about like the culture and the art style, and I think
Oh,
like
yeah.
artists like that.
Oh, it
art
is
style.
cool,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's very cool. Because it's just
Well,
cool
that,
scenery.
either Chinese or Japanese. I
Yeah,
mean, just
yeah.
that Asian style.
Yeah, it's very cool. Just fun fact of the day.
Fun fact of the day:
Just
we
so
like
everybody knows.
Asian style.
So, and I think EverQuest.
In
I
our
actually
games.
think I'm not too sure about this one, but I think EverQuest had like an Chinese Asian themed expansion
Yeah.
as well. But anyway, Overwatch. There's been some evidence found that there will be a Christmas event, but let's be honest, there probably will be a Christmas event.
Yes.
Apparently, files were posted on Reddit. Basically, that some interactions between the heroes were changed, and there is a Christmas jingle in there, and they're basically saying like, "Oh, it's probably for a holiday-themed event." And let's be honest, if they did Halloween, I'm sure they're gonna do Christmas.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, Christmas
yeah.
is a much bigger holiday, so or whatever you want to, Life Day, whatever you
Yeah.
want to call it. All their MMOs have their different names.
Yeah.
Winter Festival,
Festival of Lights.
This actually should have been in the news a while ago, but apparently I dipped out of the Diablo panel a little too early
yes,
because
you
I
did.
was
was all over that. In fact,
because David knew about this.
Jordan
and I
came
didn't.
over to my house and I was like, "Dude, let me tell you what I'm excited for." And Jordan was like, "That's not a thing." I was like, no.
Well, because remember
Diablo
when
3 seasons coming to consoles. That is what I'm excited
Diablo
for.
3 seasons coming to console. Remember, like 20 episodes ago, I was complaining that
I do.
I wish they had Diablo 3 seasons
I remember
on the console.
distinctly.
And I won't go into what I was complaining about specifically, but that was one of my reasons I was complaining, right? And then now they did. They heard me. They heard it.
They listened,
So-
and thank you, Jordan, for getting us the Diablo 3 seasons to
So
consoles.
I don't know
To
how.
Jordan.
I don't
To
know.
Jordan.
I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do because when I looked it up, they said the reason we don't have seasons on console is because a console is much more easy to cheat because they have the offline mode in the console, whereas on the PC you don't have the offline mode. And that's how they can basically keep track. So I don't know if you have a seasonal character that will only
It will
be
only be
online.
online,
Yeah, which makes sense.
It will only be online.
But even then, like you can still log. People are creative, but
People are creative.
yeah, in bad ways.
No, but here's the thing. Blizzard, I trust.
No.
They take care of this
I
stuff.
do, but that was one of the main factors, and that's why I was so mad because people complain about.
So for those of you that
online
don't know
video.
what Diablo seasons are, basically it's a leaderboard competition. You can start. There's a season for a specified amount of time. Let's just throw out a number. Let's say 1 month, right?
Yes.
So let's pretend it's a season for 1 month. You start a brand new character and you go through and you try and get the highest score on your leaderboard. There are special items that are available only in that season that you can earn, special gear,
that you
special
take back to your other characters.
special cosmetics, and you take them. They all carry over season to season with your main character, but every season you have to start a brand new character.
Season
Just
character,
a
yeah.
super fun way to play the game, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Um,
and you can continuously see yourself go up and down on the leaderboards. How well you're doing against other people playing your class. How well
Yeah.
you're doing overall.
And this
It's very cool.
appeals to me because it's all about maximizing your builds.
yes,
Because that's the only way you're going to
min-maxing your character just right.
Just
yeah.
tweaking
What
it.
I like too is they're bringing all the portrait stuff and rewards. Like for example, you don't have this on the console, but I guess do you technically have portraits in the main menu? I don't know. But anyway, when you're playing with a friend, they just have a name in each corner of the screen. We know this because we played it.
Yeah.
In the PC, it shows their portrait, and they can have different crazy portraits right on the PC. They're bringing all that over. They're bringing all the rewards from the seasons. So, like everything that's on the PC right now is pretty much coming over to the Diablo 3, and they haven't necessarily said it, but I think that's gonna. If you want to enjoy all those rewards, it's probably gonna be you're gonna be connected via the seasons, which I think is good because I don't want cheaters.
No.
Yeah, those
no
cheaters.
way. No.
We don't like cheaters.
No.
So I think
cheaters
that's great. That
suck.
should have been in the
Yes,
news
they
a
do.
while ago, but I missed it.
Yeah.
So,
Anyway, super
and
fun.
then, after 10 years,
10 years, it's coming.
we only
baby.
have to wait 3 more days.
3 more days, it's here.
for Final Fantasy 15.
The last of the fantasies that are final.
Yes.
Are you serious? This is the last?
Do you know why
No,
number 1 was
no.
called Final Fantasy?
Because they didn't want to make another
No,
one?
because they honestly did not expect it to go anywhere.
Yeah.
So they're like, Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, people bought it.
Dang it. Yeah.
Oh, man.
I have to go back to
Yeah.
work.
No, Final Fantasy 15 is coming out this Tuesday, November 29th. I've been waiting for this.
For a long
Honestly,
time.
I've been waiting for a good Final Fantasy since I really liked Final Fantasy 10. I didn't like 10-2. 13 was okay. I didn't like 13-2. I mean, I've really.
What are you looking forward to?
11 and 14 are MMOs, so they're kind of on a different.
Sure.
playing
What are you
field,
looking
but-
forward to most in this Final Fantasy?
the story, because the director, says that this story is going to be an emotional ride, just like Final Fantasy VII was.
Oh, cool.
So Final Fantasy was pretty emotional, and
Yeah.
I'm excited that they got this director, Hajime Tabata. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he was the
Aren't
director.
they all called Hajime?
I don't know. But he is responsible for Crisis Core, which
Oh,
is
okay.
one of the top-selling PSP games, and Type 0, which was one of the best-selling games in Japan, and petitioned to be brought over to America, which it finally did with the HD release.
Interesting.
So I think he's the perfect guy for the job. I love the new combat system. I think it's about time we moved into that action combat.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with turn-based, like in Earthlock. They do it perfectly, but I really think
Well, especially what
the
they're
setting
trying to
that-
do
yeah.
with Final Fantasy, where you're basically in an open world.
yeah. Oh, yeah, and that's the other thing, open world.
You need to have action combat.
Mhm. Yeah, I have it pre-ordered. I did that today. It's installed on the solid state
Oh,
drive.
man, that is exciting.
It's ready to go. 10
That is
o'clock
really exciting.
my time.
Final Fantasy. Stay tuned next week. We will have thorough coverage of
Yes.
the Final
I
Fantasy
do-
release and whether or not you should buy it. Brought
Yeah.
to you by Jordan.
I do worry that this is like probably one of the most ambitious games out there. and they have been spending a lot
High
of
risk,
time,
high reward.
Yeah, they have been spending a lot of time polishing out bugs. And from what I hear from like Eurogamer or like early people that have played, they said it's good, but they're only allowed to play so much before they have to start. You know what I mean? They can only play the first hour, and then
just in the demo, I'll tell you what, the fighting is fantastic and it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
It is really pretty.
And they fixed. I mean, taking the extra 2 months to fix all the bugs. Hopefully, it paid off.
Yeah.
I'm really excited. This is my most anticipated game of the year.
Have you? Can you pre-download this game?
It's I've pre-downloaded it.
How big is it?
I did not look.
Because that's
I will
knowing
look for
Final Fantasy.
It's going to be huge.
It's going to be a very big file.
it. So well, it's probably going to be a 50, 60 hour game.
Oh, yeah.
So I mean,
would imagine.
they're side quests and everything. Plus, they have DLC coming out later. For it, it's going to be a good time.
This is very exciting
So
times.
and just to clarify, if you've never played Final Fantasy, this is why Mark and David are so excited for it. But you never needed this with any of them.
It is its own story.
It's its own story. Every Final Fantasy, unless it has like a 2 attached on the end of the, unless
Or
it has a number
0.5.
and then a dash and then a 2, right?
Yeah.
Then it's not. But every Final Fantasy main entry is its own story. If you want the full story, like the full most experienced story, I would watch the YouTube Brotherhood series and then Kingsglaive, just to get a little bit of the backstory. But you can go into this day one
Blind.
and blind and be ready to go.
That's exciting.
I mean, and then there's a chocobo. If you don't know what a chocobo is, but
A chocobo is basically an animal you can ride.
it's a horse. It's
Yeah.
a Final Fantasy version of a horse. It's the
but
only
it
thing you
doesn't
really
look
need to
like
know.
a horse. It looks like
It's a chicken.
A yellow
A
ostrich.
big
Yellow
chicken.
ostrich. Yeah, that's a good way. But anyway, that's this Tuesday. I'm really excited.
That is exciting. Big news this week, the Division survival mode dropped.
Yes, the
We
Division
all
Survival is out.
It is out for those. Now we had a lot of people because the Division is on sale. A lot of people grabbed the Division, and I got this question over and over again. Do I need to buy all of the DLC? What DLC do I need to play survival? Jordan, Mark, the answer?
You need Division, but you can just get this because I didn't get any of the DLCs until this one.
Yeah. So
And I can play it just
You
fine.
can just get survival. Let me tell you, in my opinion, it is 100. This is what the entire game was meant to be from the beginning. I really enjoy survival, and I'll tell you why. In the Division, you collect electronics, you collect tools, you collect fabric, you collect division points. What
Division tech.
Division tech.
Yeah.
But you don't really do anything with them, and the stuff that you do with it is not. It's not super game changing. It's not something that you have to rely on necessarily because you could just rely on drops. But this takes that, and you have to. All of those things matter. Your clothing matters, which in the regular game really doesn't.
It's just appearance.
Yeah.
It's just appearance.
Which now half the gear sets look better than the clothes. So.
Yeah. Your clothing matters. You're collecting items to craft stuff because you start with just a pistol, and you have to get to the dark zone.
You start with nothing, and you have no clothes. Essentially, you do have clothes
Yeah.
because it's
hazmat
Ubisoft.
suit. You have a hazmat
it's Ubisoft, so they won't show you naked.
Yeah, they'll patch that.
So you go outside and you have like 30 seconds before you freeze to death. So you have to go from fire to fire. You have to worry about food. You have to worry about water. It's total survival, and you are trying to get out of there essentially. So that's and it's very hard. You're against other players. It's very similar to if you ever watched Katniss Everdeen, the survival games, right?
Yeah.
Is that what that show's called?
Hunger Games.
Hunger Games, the survival games,
Well,
survival of the
basically.
fittest games. No, the Hunger Games.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like that mode for Division, but it's really good. Now, there's a question in chat. Juice Thunderbolt, is Division worth it just for single player? I usually play by myself, and Destiny never really hooked me for that reason.
Good question.
This game you can play by yourself. In fact, I think that's one of the knocks against it is it's not as multiplayer as a Destiny. But especially with survival mode, you can go in and be PvP, which we did, and there's other players in there, and you can go against. And we do it because we're in a team. So who's going to mess with us? No one else is running
What
around
happened
with
to me
4
in
players.
Titanfall, we did to someone in the Division.
Yes, we did
the other
twice.
Day, yeah.
But if you want to jump in by yourself,
It was wonderful.
if you want to jump in by yourself, it's totally built for that as well. They do have a PvE version of survival.
Yeah, if you're by yourself, I would recommend the PvE version over the PvP version.
Yeah.
But you can go into the PvP.
So in
version,
closing,
so.
I really enjoyed survival. I think this is exactly what the Division needed. in my opinion. And I'm having a blast with it. McSpicy, what are your thoughts on the Division?
No, it's a lot of fun. I mean, I've played pretty much every mode. So I've played PvE because you can do it. You can do a couple modes. You can go in with a group. You can with like a group that you have. You can go in to matchmake with a group, or you can go solo. And you can do PvP, which means other players you can shoot, or PvE, which means only the NPCs you can shoot. I prefer the PvP. You get more experience by doing PvP, but I think it's way more exciting.
Yeah, it is.
When I was in the PvE section, it became just a loot. Like, we all started packing up together naturally, and it was whoever could get to the NPC that was downed first
Sure.
got the stuff.
Sure.
And that's kind of, I did not like that as much,
Sure.
you know. What I read is when you matchmake in PvP, it tries to get groups and groups together and solo players together.
Oh, that's good.
So it attempts. I don't know how well that works because we were in a group and that guy came outside and we blew his head off.
Although there was another guy just right
next
after
to
him, so
yeah.
maybe they were together.
They were probably on a team.
Jordan and I today ran into, because we were just a group of two, we ran into another group of two. So, I mean, take that for what it's worth, but sounds like it worked for us in that instance.
Yeah. Cohort Pirate in chat asks, do you have to be level 30 to play it? No. It's standalone.
Everybody starts with the same equipment at the same point in that game.
Do you have to beat the game to play it, though? Because I didn't start a new character. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, well, I don't think
I
so.
honestly
I don't think so.
Because I know where the DLC is located is in the back of the base. So is that unlocked to you, the back of the base?
That's accessible. Mm-hmm.
From a new character?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you're not building. It's not part of that 100%.
Yeah. Okay.
So you don't have to build anything. It's just there.
And it has nothing to do with the actual gameplay or story of the game.
They're like
it's
side stories, self-contained.
Once you're in there, it doesn't matter what
everybody's the
level,
same.
Everybody's the same.
Everybody starts out with a scarf. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
So, in your opinion, McSpicy, is this enough to get people back?
Oh yeah, it's fun. And I am a person who didn't play Division after 3 weeks when it was released.
Sure.
I played it hard for 3 weeks and then I moved on. I haven't touched it since. I come back and I love some of the things they did to the game that I haven't seen. You know, I didn't see the gradual improvements. I just see it as it is now.
Sure.
And there is a lot of, it's so much better of a game.
Oh yeah, they've done a lot to improve it.
What are those things? The things you showed me where you get the three.
So you go around to billboards and you do mini quests to get target intel and you use that currency to buy high value target contracts.
High value target contracts, which drop. I mean, I was getting gold loot.
And they're
like,
basically world bosses.
Yeah, there's daily contracts and weekly contracts, and there's super difficult ones. Like
I found myself just doing that, just kind of just to relax, and I didn't have to think. I didn't want to play with anyone else. I just because I didn't know if I had enough time or whatever. Yeah. So I just went and started doing those. Those are a lot of fun.
Yeah,
like the world tier system, I think is great.
Fantastic.
I know that's not part of the actual survival, but the improvements to the game since when I played it last, it's in my top 8 games to play right now. I have my pin section on my Xbox on what games I'm going to play. You know, at the very top.
And it's made the cut.
It's made the cut. I'm going to be playing Division.
Yeah. Jordan, survival, your opinion, go.
I really like it. I think it's good. And I really liked the Underground.
Yeah.
I thought the Underground, you don't necessarily create your own dungeons. You create your own modifiers of your dungeon, and then it randomly puts you in, right? But I thought the Underground was an excellent expansion, and they had already made decent improvements from that point. But I do like it better than... I think it's the best game mode in the game right now.
Yeah.
So I mean I like
survival mode.
Yeah, survival mode. Yeah. I like doing the high value target contract or high value target contracts.
Yeah.
But survival mode is a good time. And
it's exciting.
What happened today is David and I got to the dark zone and we both picked up 2 sealed caches that we had to extract.
2. Lost them
both. Yeah, because we died.
I
love that because there's supposedly you get excellent gear in there, right? But you have to extract to get that gear.
Yeah.
I mean, you're pretty much guaranteed at least if you play at least one
sealed chest,
not sealed chest, but like just a survivor cache.
Survivor cache,
and then you can open up and you usually get 2 pieces of gear. They're usually pretty good depending on what world tier you're in, right? But But getting those sealed caches, the game changed.
Well, this is what I like about it. These games, eventually it becomes a repetitive grind.
Yeah.
And you're just grinding to gear up. This throws a wrench in that, and you combine this with a DLC like the Underground, where you're making your own dungeons. There is a variety of ways to get gear, because if you extract, which we've yet to do, but if you extract and you get these sealed caches, even when you don't extract and you die, you're getting gear that improves your character outside of survival mode.
I haven't really studied into it, but I think you can basically gear up by doing survival only, because I've noticed, like, I think I'm in World Tier 2 right now, and I don't know the numbers, but all the
Tier 2, I
believe.
No,
I'm in World Tier 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry, World Tier 3, and I'm getting gear out of the survival that all of it drops at 224, and I think that I don't think that's the cap, but I think that's enough to bump you to the next tier.
Yeah. Once you get all of your gear at that -1, you can go to the next tier.
Yeah. So and because in World Tier 3, when I was in survival, I was only getting 184.
Yeah.
And now that I bumped up to World Tier 2, and now that I've bumped up to World
Every
Tier 3,
tier, it'll drop
it's
you
dropping higher gear. So
Yeah.
you can essentially gear up.
Yeah.
Now, of course, it's random, and you're not going to always get what you want, but it's a quick way to get up high. You know what I mean?
No, one of the great things that these battle royale style games, which this is essentially a survival battle royale style game, where it puts 30 players together. Your Hunger Games.
Yeah.
It really is like that. One of the appeal to a player like me, or to why I think this game type is so exciting and I mean, H1Z1, you have your Arma 3 mods for this kind of battle royale game, is it takes that shoot and loot, or it takes that looting game that usually takes a long time to level up. It makes that so fast and so streamlined. It starts you off with nothing, and in 45 minutes you have pretty decent gear, and you're trying to get it for a character later on.
Yeah.
But it takes that formula and shortens it in a way that I don't know. It just makes it that same formula, but makes it quick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's replayable every time because of that.
Yeah.
It takes that survival-esque, so DayZ, for example, is very. I love that style, that survival kind of. You have to worry about food. Your gear gets damaged, all that stuff. But it takes so long to do. Yeah. This takes that same thing and makes it within an hour.
Yeah.
Makes it super fun.
Way fun.
So, because you have an hour time limit before the virus essentially kills you, right? I mean, you can pause it a little bit, but let's say, if you never use your whatever.
That's why I think when H1Z1 came out, they had their regular survival mode, and then they did the King of the Kill, which is Battle Royale. PlayerUnknown was one of the developers that started Battle Royale, that game type, on Arma, but he became and helped Daylight Studios or whatever they are that did H1Z1.
Yeah.
So Daybreak, that's it.
Used
Daybreak.
to be Sony, but then they sold out
Sony
Daybreak.
Online. So H1Z1 used to be the survival game, but King of the Kill is their battle royale game type. H1Z1 is almost non-existent because battle royale is so much more exciting because they take that formula and make it so fast.
Yeah, and I like
instant gratification.
I like that,
or instant not gratification.
Yeah, I like that. Finally, a AAA studio took survival mode and put it in their game, right? Arma 3, I guess, is a big game, but
but it was the mods that made that happen.
Which kind of started survival. But this is like a well-known. Ubisoft is on, a lot, a AAA studio finally, and it's good. Like, it's not just like a cheap knockoff they threw in to try and get money. Like, it's legitimately good. Yeah,
and it has its own Division flavor. To it, so
that makes it kind of its own, which I like.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh man, that was fun.
I think what makes it fun is the fear of NPCs and players.
Yeah,
because in H1Z1 there's no NPC. It's
That's
just
right.
But I given it's 100 players instead of 24, so it's a little bit different. But having both NPCs and players, it's just.
I'll be honest. I died more to NPCs than to actual players.
Yeah, because they're hard.
And you have nothing. You have a stupid pistol.
Or you'll get crunched. What happens to Jordan and I? We get crunched in between.
Yeah.
In between them, and it's just too much.
But I think we have a pretty solid build though. We got all the way. None of us have yet to extract.
Have
you extracted, Mark, yet?
No,
none of us have.
I'm
extracted.
too aggressive.
The key is to stick
I'm
together.
way too
The
aggressive.
key is really just to be patient and stick together. But then you're fighting time. That was our problem. We were fighting time at that point. But anyways, great. Division Survival came out this week. In our opinions, must buy.
I like it. It's only $15 for the
I would
survival
say
DLC.
so. Yes.
Yeah, if you already have Division, it's only $15. If you don't have Division,
Division's on sale all over the place. So
Yeah,
go
and I
pick
think,
up Division.
a lot
and
of
then
people
go,
are getting it for $10. So 10 plus 15, 25
bucks.
Yeah, not a bad
that's
deal.
a good deal. Must buy at that price.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Which brings us to our discussion segment. Our discussion segment is brought to you by Oyen Digital. That's Oyen Digital. Guess what, guys? You want a super fast, awesome hard drive for all of your games? Oyen Digital has it for you. The Shadow Mini SSD is awesome. Jordan and Mark both have this hard drive.
Huge fans of this
Yeah.
hard drive.
Tell me what it does for you, McSpicy.
It makes me smile.
Makes you smile.
No, I load games in half the time now, and it's so simple. I plug it in. Any game that I'm currently playing, I just move it over. It takes a couple seconds to move over to this solid state hard drive, and I use the example of when I play Battlefield. I load before anyone else, and I have to wait until the timer starts to time.
And you get those airplanes.
And you get those airplanes. Yeah, it's so fast. It's ridiculous how fast that hard drive is.
Funny story with mine.
Yes.
I was playing Elder Scrolls with a listener of us, Zulabus, right? And we decided to do a delve, right? So those are dungeons in the world. So we go in and we load, and he made the comment. He said, "Wow, you're already loaded in and fighting." And I said,
Yes, I
"Yeah,
am."
it's that solid state drive." And no, yeah, it was. He was impressed. So it was pretty
good.
cool. So
They're optimized for the Xbox One. Their read-write times are made so that it works for what games do,
yes,
right? Which
Yeah.
is load fast. Well, need to do, which is load fast.
getting you in.
Getting you in and
Getting
getting
you
you taking care of business ASAP. Right? They are all made in America, Oyen Digital, and they have warranties on all of their products. If you type in X1Bros at checkout, you get 10% off the Shadow Mini SSD or any of their gaming products. That's Oyen Digital, OYEN Digital.com, OYEN Digital.com. If you'd like to support the show or you do support the show and you want an awesome hard drive, go and buy one from Oyen Digital. They support us by advertising with us, and we really appreciate them and 100% recommend their products. They are fantastic. All right, everybody, for today's discussion segment, we'd like to welcome to the show Brandon Fream, a.k.a. Freamhole. He's host of the Z to Z podcast, which is the podcast for achievement hunters. Brandon, how are you doing today?
I'm fantastic, David. It's fantastic to have an opportunity to talk to you again. Our conversation when you were on our show was so much fun, and I thoroughly enjoyed that I'm really glad we have this opportunity to talk again.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We have a lot of people. We're not an achievement hunter show, clearly, as we discussed last time. And you looked at my achievement score. It's not the highest. So I think it's great to have you on our show because there's a lot of people in our community that I think would really like what you guys do over there, and especially the different competitions that you have.
Yeah.
And the leaderboards and stuff like that. So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to our community, who you are, what your podcast is about, and when and where they can find it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like David mentioned, we're the Z to Z podcast. It really came about between my co-host and I, Terrigan, whose gamer tag is ZZ Urban Spaceman. We saw the Z there. I love zombies. In England, they're called Zeds. So we got Z to Z. That's where it spawned from, and then as we kind of got the show rolling, and it's been about a year now, our 1 year anniversary comes up in December. Although we technically didn't launch we did some trial episodes. We didn't launch until January 1st, but we're coming up on our year anniversary, and really there was kind of a hole in achievement hunting podcasts. There had been a few, Stallion 83, right? Ray, he had the Gamerscore Popcast, right? That kind of faded out. There was the Achievement Hounds. They were a podcast about achievements as well. They kind of faded out. I mean, actually, that's where I got my start. Is as that group of hosts kind of faded and just couldn't keep up. I mean, they had done 300 some episodes before they were like, we got to take a little break. They opened it up to the community and said, hey, we'd love to keep this thing going. Anyone have an interest? And to be honest, I didn't. I was just like, maybe I would like it. I don't know. I like to talk. So I did my first episode. It was I mean, you're going to ask me. I think it was awesome, but I'm sure it was a huge disaster. But the regular community hosts at the time said, "Boy, you actually got a pretty good gift for Gab. Why don't if you want to be a regular, you're more than welcome." And so I was. For about 18 months, I did that show and ran various contests over at the Achievement Hounds forums. And unfortunately, just as it kind of goes, if you don't have backing from the people who run the site, you kind of lose interest in stuff. And that's a great thing with the X1 forums. Z to Z, we have our own forums. You and us, we're all just so very involved with our communities right now, and that's just so helpful to keep things enthusiastic and people energized in what your community is offering. And so I trialed a bunch of things. I played around with a bunch of contests. And so now that we've got the Z to Z forums and the platform in the Z to Z podcast, we can actually launch a bunch of these contests through that site. As far as the actual show itself, we record on Fridays like you do, but we have some extensive editing that we like to do. We're all over the globe. So we have, there's me out in the Midwest. I'm out of Minneapolis. We've got a New York contributor, a Boston contributor, where's Prue from? He's from like DC area, I think. Gosh, and he's going to get mad at me for forgetting that. That's all right. He doesn't listen to our podcast. He's not going to listen to this one. And Sarragan's out in Australia, and Joe is in the UK. So trying to coordinate times with everybody is super tricky. And so we record individual segments, kind of move some things around, and they're just flexible with when people can get together. And so then Tarragon takes all that data, puts it all together, is a masterful editor. I mean, it is flawless, the type of work that he puts in. And so Wednesday morning, which is actually because Tarragon's in the future, Wednesday evening for him, but nice and bright and early here for us in the States, the podcast drops on iTunes, Google Play, all sorts of avenues. And of course, you can find it through my Twitter. I retweet it all the time. And there it is. And so it's nice to be able to talk this week because I missed last week. I was sick all last week, and so my voice was just destroyed, and I could not talk. It would have been awful. Now you might listen to the last show and say, well, without Brandon, it's awful anyway. But that's a different story. We'll razz my hosts about that on my show later. And of course, between your community, our community, we're just a bunch of like-minded gamers. If you can't tell from my voice, I'm a super positive guy. I really love your community and what you guys have been doing, and it's nice to see. We've actually had some, listeners come over. Silence 42. He's been he's been fantastic. And he contributes a lot to your show. And so it's just been really wonderful to hear the outpouring of support from everybody in your community, whether they're achievement hunters or not. A lot of the things that we like to focus on. Yeah, we call ourselves an achievement hunting show, and we do focus on achievements because that's important to us. But really, it's about Xbox in general. We have discussions about what we like, what we don't like. The hundreds of flags in Assassin's Creed is just dreadful. I don't want to do that, and we complain about that too. Yes, there's achievement tied to it, and that's why we're complaining about it. But it still goes to terrible game design and just being a huge tedious grind. And so whether or not it's tied to an achievement or not, we have a commonality that when we talk about our video games, but we tend to, the games that we play are often older. Especially like the games with gold, where there's we can talk about a game that a lot of people have access to. We like to go with those indie games. We have so Damien on our show, Spazpole, he does a fantastic job as kind of our community outreach guy, and he goes out to all the developers, all the indie developers, and he drums up review codes and stuff so that we can have an opportunity to look at some of these indie developers and give them a spotlight on their games. And for us, it's usually a fantastic way to find kind of those gems that maybe are getting overlooked in some of the the AAA titles, the games that are going to sell anyway.
Sure.
And often there's a great source of easy achievements there. And so we've got a vested interest in looking for those. Now, there's plenty of games out there that don't have easy achievements, but they're still great games. I think we just recently reviewed Oceanhorn. That's a smaller game. It's about a 15 to 20 hour completion, maybe 10 to 15, depends on how fast you do it. And when we talk about completion, we talk about getting all the achievements, of course. I think that goes without saying. That's kind of how we measure what we put into a game. For one person, that might say, well, I'm just actually interested in going through the story. Okay, well, that's actually 8 hours. But for us, we got to go through the story. We got to get 100%, catch all the fish, find all the heart pieces, and then all of a sudden it stretches out into 15 hours. And, those are the types of conversations that we end up having. That's obviously not to say we don't play. You look at my gamer tag. I spent all last week playing Destiny. The Iron Banner showed up. My character is woefully underleveled. I needed some gear, and so I played 5 nights worth of Destiny Iron Banner and got the crap beat out of me because, it's level enabled, and you got all these people who have light level 400, and I'm sitting here at 350, and I'm just this, toothpick just getting rocked.
Oh man, we've all been there with Destiny. That's for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, that's really kind of the community in a nutshell. As far as the show goes, as far as contests, because that's really at heart what I love to do.
And I will say, in listening to the contests that you guys have, I think they're great. I'm a little jealous. I wish I could come up with those contests.
You can absolutely participate. That's for sure. What I think what really appeals to me, and I've got a family. I'm in my mid-30s. I've got 2 kids who are the grade school kids, full-time job, wife who I need to keep happy. There's just not a lot of gaming time, and I think that's a struggle that we all have as adults as we continue to age in this hobby that we have, and so I have about 2 to 3 hours a night where I can play games. Okay, well, I can't compete in a gamer score competition, right? That's the most common type of competition.
Yeah.
Even when you look at your leaderboards every month, it's like, yeah, look, I can put up some decent score, but I can't do it consistently. I can't take a day off of work and just put up huge numbers. So what can I do in 3 hours that puts me on the same playing field as someone who, doesn't have a job or is at school or no kids, have the whole weekend to play. And so my contests, the way I design them are so that they're approachable to everyone. Yes, if you put more time, more effort into it, you likely can improve your odds, but I always give an opportunity to someone who even just can contribute a little bit. And so, we have every month in the forums, we have 3 contests going on at all times. The first one is our gamer tag challenge. Super easy. It's a month-long challenge, and the way it works, so let's take your gamer tag, for instance, XoneBros.
Sure.
Right? That's 8 letters, and you would need to unlock 1 achievement in 8 different games where each game starts with the letter of your name. So X could be XCOM Enemy Unknown, B could be BioShock, O could be Ori and the Blind Forest. You unlock a single achievement during the month, and then you post them on the forum. So that's only 8 achievements in an entire month. Now, granted, it is 8 different games, and so you have fun conversations like, oh my gosh, where am I going to find 2 O games? Because you have 2 O's in your name. So yeah. I got Ori, I got Orange Box, I got Overcooked. And I end up doing stuff like this with Orange Box. Thankfully, it has 99 achievements. I end up playing like an hour a month and just bleeding out the 99 achievements every month because I need to save those O's because the O's are so rare. But that's a very approachable. It's a fun contest. And then if you get all of them, you get 10 entries. And some of those letters that are weird, like X, O, E, there's just not a lot of games. You can just sub in, say, oh, you know what? I don't have an X game. I don't have XCOM, so I'm just going to do NBA 2K, right? It's just a random game with a random letter. Okay, I only get 1 entry, but you still get 1 entry. You still get a chance.
Yeah.
So that's one contest. The other one is every month we are focusing on a game series. So we've done Dead Rising was the one we just did in October. We are doing in the month of November here BioShock. So any of the BioShock games, you unlock a single BioShock achievement in the month of November. That's one entry into the pool. And at the end of the month, I pull a name out of random.org, and you might get yourself $10. And that's where it stands right now. It's super easy, very approachable, and it's fun in those instances. Okay, BioShock's a single player game, but in games like Dead Rising, we had a lot of community events go up and people, working together to do multiplayer achievements. We're going to do Disney Infinity in January. We're going to do Gears of War in December. Gears of War is such a community grouping. We've actually got a group of UKers getting a Gears of War session going throughout the month of December. And so, just fun things to get the community involved and give them an opportunity to maybe win some prizes. The final and most popular one, by far the most popular one, actually spawned. So apart from my duties as the Z2Z podcast host, I am also on True Achievements. I'm part of their staff as a community events organizer. And that I got that role because I was the one who pitched the UHH, the Ultimate Head-to-Head Challenge. Now, kudos goes to Rich at True Achievement himself and Jack, WebChimp UK, the two operators of that site, for the wonderful work that they've done putting that contest together and fleshing it out into what it's become. I mean, the UI on that has been fantastic, but the way it works is you get two competitors. They look at your games collection, right? So all the games you own on your tag, and they have an algorithm to look and see where you're at in the game. So let's say, you've only locked one achievement. So you're at the beginning of the game. It'll find someone else who's only locked one achievement, and you kind of group together based on how similar your collections are and what your placing is in each of those. And then it'll generate 20 random achievements that you go through in 1 week. And it's super competitive. It's hardcore. It was a lot of fun. They've done it twice now. We did it back in March, and we're just finishing it up here in the fall. And so I think we'll probably end up running it again in March. It's just overwhelmingly popular, but it's a hardcore competition. I mean, it's like there are people who on Monday morning when that thing goes live already have 20 achievements unlocked. Wow. And it's like, I'm not even awake at that point. Like,
how do you compete with that?
It's obscene. So what the Z2Z podcast offers is we call it the Random To-Do List Challenge. And this actually had spawned from a gentleman named Facial LaFleur, that's his gamer tag, in at the Achievement Hounds, and he had run it for 3 years. And it was, if you're familiar with True Achievements, there's a to-do list in there. And if you go to your to-do list, it's totally blank. At the bottom of that page, it says Add Random Achievement, a little button. And it'll take from your games collection, it'll pull a single achievement out of whatever. And so you're supposed to hit that 100 times, and boom, that would be your list to work on for an entire year. Well, what we noticed when we actually did that is everybody quit after a month. Like, you get this, I mean, when I did it the year prior, I got my list, totaled everything up, I looked at it, and I said, okay, I need $82 worth of DLC. I've got 4, end game achievements that I don't want to play. And you just looked at it and you were like, you're defeated from the start. You just said, this is dumb. I can't do this. Well, we've modified the rules. So now that it's a monthly contest. So every month, your gamer tag generates 25 achievements. And they're ranked you get 10 easy ones, 7 middle of the road ones, 5 tricky ones, and 3 really tough ones. And that's your goal for the month. You try and get as many of those knocked off as you can, and then unlocking a single achievement off your list gets you one entry into the monthly pool. And there you go. There's your chance at winning a prize. And that contest now is nearing 100 people. We're 2 months in, so November is our 3rd month of calculating scores. We're going to do it for a full year and have cumulative scores. And of course, every month there's going to be a prize just for participation. And then we'll reset everything next year and do it all over again. And it's just been awesome. It's so much fun. And it's great because you go back in your backlog, right? Because all of a sudden an achievement pops up and it's like, oh, Oblivion. Man, I haven't played Elder Scrolls Oblivion in ages. Okay, well, I might as well get back into it, right? I need to go do the Thieves Guild mission. Cool. Oh my God, I remember how much fun this game was, and you would go back and relive those memories. And it's also kind of a nice way to curb buying new games. It's like, boy, I forgot about all these gems that I had that I never actually went and finished. That's a huge problem of mine. I used to consider myself a completionist, but ever since I started having disposable income, that's out the window.
Oh yeah.
My completion percentage is just hideous right now.
You look at the new shiny thing and you have to have it, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm the same way. So I just love that. I think that's such a great way to keep things competitive and fun and interesting. And that's really when I get into achievements, is like when I'm going against Jordan or Mark and we're just I got to beat you this month. Oh no, what am I doing? So those are awesome. I love those competitions that you guys put on. I think that's fantastic.
The key is, because like I mentioned, you want to be approachable, because if it's so stacked against you and you can't even have fun getting achievements, what's the point, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Gaming is all about having fun. And to be honest, probably my biggest criticism I get, there's just too much going on. There's too many games I have to play to do all your contests, and it's like, I get. I mean, for some people, that's not that much, right? They'll get the gamer tag done in 2 days. They'll whip through 8 games, and they'll start working on BioShock, and then have plenty of time to do their to-do list.
Yeah.
Me, no, I'm pretty dreadful. I get maybe 3 or 4 items off my to-do list. I hopefully can get the gamer tag in every month, and I've missed Dead Rising, and I can't even remember what we did in September. Wolfenstein. I missed those 2. I have all those games, and I never got around to playing them.
Wow.
It's just so much going on. And then, of course, Destiny always brings you back.
The problem of every gamer. Too many options,
too
right?
many toys.
So you talked about something earlier that I think is interesting, and I'd like to get your perspective on it. You talked about when you review games, or when you guys look at games, and you'll play the normal game, and then you're going for these extra achievements. So you're a lot of times, as a result, experiencing part of the games that most people probably never experience or are even looking at or considering, right? Have you ever played a game that you enjoyed, but then because of the achievement part of it, it took away a little bit of enjoyment, or it changed your opinion, or vice versa? Maybe you didn't enjoy it, but then the achievement part was so fun that it changed your opinion for the positive. Have you ever experienced that?
Absolutely. Both sides of it, actually. I mean, there are always games. When I approach a game, I typically do not look at the achievement list, and I will just play through normal. I'll do what I can straight through, get as many as I can, just as natural playing. And then I'll go back and revisit. Now, because of kind of some time constraints, I'll tend to look at the list ahead of time as like, oh boy, is there anything that I can miss? Or can I get everything in one playthrough? Or is there a level select where I can make my life easier later? Yeah. I mean, a lot of those things, they're just kind of game mechanics that they seem kind of trivial, but if you're actually going for achievements, you really want to minimize the amount of effort you have to do, because sometimes let me do BioShock, for instance. Okay. I started playing through BioShock a few months ago, and Randy from our show was like, "You have to play it," and of course it's a masterpiece. I have to play it, and so I started going through it. And in that game, you can get every achievement in a single playthrough. It is possible, but there are some missable achievements. There's one for using the Vita Chambers to revive. So if you die, you can't respawn. You just have to quit out and restart your game. That doesn't count, right? So you can't use one of the Vita Chambers. The second thing is the audio logs. You have to get all of the audio logs. And of course, the audio logs are brilliant, right? It's a masterful collectible that is done in such a way that it enhances the story as it goes, right? That's collectibles done right.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there are 2 spots where you can no longer come back. If you miss those on your first time through, you cannot get back there. There's one spot in the middle where an event happens that shuts that area down. And there's one spot at the very beginning when you enter the lighthouse, and if you miss the ones in that first section, you can't go back and get those. Okay, well, I started playing and didn't know that. And so I made it to Fort Frolic, which, is roughly halfway through, and looked at it and said, crap. I cannot do this in one playthrough. Now, here's the question. Because I'm a completionist, I want to complete this game. What do I do? What's my dilemma? I either restart, do the whole thing over again and start from the beginning, or I play through once and then go through a second time, only collecting audio logs. Okay, that second playthrough would have been the most dreadful playthrough ever, and I would never have done it. And so I opted to quit, restart, and go through. Well, unfortunately, that also frustrated me, and now I've dropped the ball on going back through. And so I need to pick that up. That's one of the impetus for setting November as BioShock month. It's I got to get into BioShock because the game is just so fantastic. I need to see how that story plays out because I'm shocked no one has ruined the ending for me.
Yeah.
You know, and to try to maintain spoiler free with having a relatively public persona, that's remarkably difficult. And so, you know, I want to be able to finish that. Now, developers it's funny because when we have interviews with developers, there's kind of two schools of thought, and most of them fall into the latter. The first one is they love achievements and they come up with really inventive and cool lists. The latter, which I think is most of them, achievements are a total afterthought, right? It's something, it's a decree from Microsoft that they have to be in the game, and so they look at it and they're like, oh, okay, what makes sense? If that developer doesn't plan ahead and really come up with an appropriate list, that can really detract from a game. And games, one of my biggest offenders is the game Never Dead. Okay, this game is just it's an 3D action, run and gun, hack and slash kind of game. And you play this dude who cannot die. He's immortal, but he can get dismembered. Okay, so if he gets hit, his arms, legs fall off, his head falls off, and so you can just roll his head around and try to collect your body. It's mindless. It's silly. The mechanics are kind of crappy, but the game is okay, right?
Yeah.
And then you finish it, and in order to get all of the achievements, you have to unlock all the abilities. Okay, by the end of the first playthrough, you have unlocked all but one ability. You've earned 3 million credits or whatever, and you've unlocked everything but one. That one is 10 million credits. And so in order to get that many, and there are faster ways to do it now, but when I did it, I had to play one boss who I could beat in 34 seconds because it was right in front of a checkpoint, and I had to beat him 500 times.
Wow.
I spent 6 hours on one guy, 30 seconds, over and over and over and over and over.
Wow.
And it is the most miserable experience I've ever had in a video game. Right now, that has become one of my most reviled games because of what that achievement made me do. Games that do it right, you know, I think of games like Portal, where, you know, you have to solve the puzzles in a unique way. Or, you know, don't touch the ground, or do this, or solve it in a lot of great ones. Now, I'm going to say it detracts from the game. I'm going to use the example of Braid. Have you played Braid?
I have, yes.
Yeah. So, you know, Jonathan Blow, fantastic game. One of my all-time favorites. I loved this game. And only 12 achievements. The first 11 achievements, straightforward. Essentially solve all the puzzles, beat the game. Wonderful. That experience is just great. The last achievement is a speed run of that game, and you got to beat it in under 3 hours. Now, that game is a very challenging puzzle game, and unfortunately, a speed run just detracts from the whole experience. You wouldn't want to do that one time through, but it is a different approach to the game, right? So you play it thinking, doing all the puzzles. Now you're going in a speed run of it, and it is a different level of intensity. And that clock is running in your upper corner, and you're watching that thing. And remember I hit it at the first time, and it was 3:08. Oh my gosh, Are you kidding me? And so then I had to do it again. I hit it at 2:52 and got the achievement. And that achievement, getting that achievement was such an epic win. One of those big fist pump moments that, I never would have sped run that game. There's just no reason to do it.
Yeah.
But because that achievement was there, I played it in a different way. It gave me a different experience. And because it heightened the tension, it gave me a really epic moment, and that that I'll always remember, and has really cemented that as one of the best games I've ever played.
Yeah.
Despite that not being the intention of the game.
Yeah.
So you get some of those unique ones that are kind of fun. I always like those types of achievements that are just kind of goofy, kind of silly. I look at same time that game came out, Limbo. Limbo. All of those achievements are technically missable. You could play the entire game and not get a single achievement because you got to go out of your way to find them. And collecting all of those eggs gets you 11 achievements, and then there's the one final achievement, and that is playing through the game and dying 5 times or less. That is a remarkably difficult platformer to only die 5 or less times. And so that is a very difficult achievement. And you'll see the diamond, you'll hear the different chime with the new achievement rarity that's come out with the holiday preview.
Oh yeah.
That is a rare achievement because it's so challenging. And those who can do it, hats off to them, because that is a tough achievement. Some of those achievement rarity things may be a little inflated. I turned my eye over to Killer Instinct and Halo Master Chief Collection, who just have hundreds and hundreds of achievements, and so just by their very nature, they're rare because so many people play and nobody gets them. But some of those truly rare ones that are difficult in a fair way. Sure. I look at achievements like Gears of War, the Gears of War Seriously achievements. Now, granted, there have been some amazing relationships and stories of people who have gotten together on True Achievements and set up boosting sessions. And because you're doing those boosting sessions for 100 hours, you develop some really amazing friends because you've lived through something so monotonously painful. That type of an achievement is ridiculous, and I'll just write that one off. It's like, there's no way I'm going to do that. My time is more valuable than that.
So difficult and fun versus difficult and tedious.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Bingo. And it's a fine line, and to be honest, I don't think developers have it in their intention to be obnoxious. I do think some of them do. I think it's not, at the coalition for Gears of War 4, but before that, I think that they did want to make those ridiculous just because they're ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think they did that on purpose. Now, some of them, I think they just made a mistake. And I've heard about stuff like there's an achievement. We had Christian Allen, the maker of he did Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter. He did Take Down Red Saber. He's the game developer of that, and he mentioned an achievement that he made where you were supposed to host 8 hours of online play, right? Because they were peer-to-peer, and somebody would set up the server, and you would join their server and play. And so in order to encourage people to set up servers so that multiplayer could exist, they said, play for 8 hours. And it was supposed to be cumulative. However, there was a bug in the code that reset your timer if you quit out. So it ended up being 8 hours consecutively.
Straight. Wow.
That you had to do. And so all of a sudden, a simple mistake turned that into a ridiculous... Now, most people can idle it overnight, and it was fine. But a simple mistake like that turned a well-conceived achievement into a total disaster. Wow. And we get that a lot now, too, with the independent developers, right? They're so small teams that they really don't have the resources to completely flesh all these things out. And so we get a lot of games... Earthlock, right? That just came out in September. That had broken achievements. Night Squad, when that first came out, broken achievements. These new games that first come out, many of the achievements are broken. Now, to those developers' credit, they bust their butt and they go and they come up with a patch and they do their best to fix it. Sometimes they don't, and that's unfortunate. Sometimes they don't have the resources to do it. But kudos to those that take the effort and make sure their game is fixed, because they want to present, their best foot forward. Hey, we want to do right by the customer, because ultimately, if Earthlock 2 comes out and Earthlock 1 is broken, well, guess what? I'm not starting Earthlock 2 because you haven't instilled trust in me that you've put together a game that I can like. Now, if it works and all your achievements are great and it's not a buggy mess, hey, I've had a lot of fun in that game. I'd love to revisit it for another round. So it's another approach to how we enjoy our games from an achievement hunting standpoint.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So what has been your favorite game? Well, just overall, whether do you have different favorite games? So do you have like a favorite game that you just love to play through, but you didn't necessarily like the achievements, and then you have a favorite game that maybe it was an okay game, but you really loved going for the achievements?
Yeah, with a bullet, my game that I've done not for achievements is Destiny.
Oh.
That loot grind fest is just, it hits every nerve. It's so perfect for me. And it's every time you go in, you just make the tiniest little progress and you're like, "Oh man, if I run one more strike, I might get my light level to go up one more point." It's
that constantly chasing the carrot on the stick just works for you.
Constantly, and I think what really cements it is just how fluid the mechanics are.
One
just
of the best.
Feels so good.
Yeah,
to
agreed.
play that game.
Completely agree. One of the best shooting mechanics ever. I mean, just so solid.
One game that and it's not necessarily that the achievements stood out, but I love Metroidvania type games.
Uh-huh.
And Guacamelee is just one of those gems that, and I've got all the achievements in that one. I just love that game, and it's fun. It's got great humor, and it does have that Metroidvania type thing. And the achievements were pretty straightforward. The one knock I'll give them is I don't care for DLC usually.
Okay.
And in this one, the DLC, and when I first did achievements, I did not consider DLC part of a completion, despite what Microsoft said. I thought that DLC should not have it's only base game completion. That's that I cared about.
Sure.
And you really had to wow me with your product for me to want to buy the DLC, because often I felt like it was a tack on.
Yeah.
I think that's changed now, where you've got more development put into the game. They've got a bunch of assets that they want to continue to use, and developers are doing right by DLC. That's not to say they all are. I mean, I look at CD Projekt Red. I mean, they're killing it with their DLC on The Witcher. That game, the content that they've added for the price is fantastic.
Well, that's like a whole other game.
Exactly.
Really.
It's a huge value proposition. Then you got stuff like, and of course, the most notorious was the very first piece of DLC ever, and that was in Oblivion, $5 for horse armor. The cosmetic horse armor that absolutely did nothing in the game.
The cosmetic DLC, the Battlefield DLC.
Yep. And so, like, I don't mind doing, really Overwatch, right? If you want to pay and try and get your different skins and your tags and that's great. I love the fact that there are alternate ways that developers can monetize their games so that they can continue to support the product and continue to come out with new content that I don't have to pay a monthly subscription for. I mean, that's why I love consoles. PC gaming doesn't do it for me. I'm not a subscription guy. It's like going to a buffet, right? I'm a littler guy. I don't eat that much. And so if I have to pay $10 for a buffet, I'm going to engorge myself to try to get as much as I can. And that's just not healthy.
Yeah.
So, I want to pay one time for my portion, and I want that to be representative of a great experience. And that's why, going back to what you mentioned with reviews, a lot of sites, certainly the reputable, the Game Informers, GameSpots, IGNs,
Sure.
whatever, they're going to go on pure game, and they're going to take price out of it. And that's fine. That's a fantastic approach, and you're more than welcome to do that as long as you're clear about it. We think that the price very much influences what you should feel about a game.
Sure.
If I'm spending $2.50 on a game, I'm not expecting Battlefield 1. For $2.50, I'm expecting a mobile game. And if it's better than a mobile game, then thumbs up to you guys, because you've given me value, and that changes my perception of that game. Now, it could still be a huge disaster, but if the achievements are easy, I might still feel like it's okay. Again, all those things play in, and I think cost goes into it. And so, if I look at an achievement list and I say, oh boy, you guys are really nickeling and diming me for DLC to get all these achievements, I'm not a big fan of that. I think if you listen to our show, Randy constantly rags on Harmonix for that with their Rock Band DLC that is grossly overpriced. I think that's fleecing.
Yeah.
And that's just not good for the industry, because you just, it's not a product you want to support when you feel like you're being gouged and you're not getting the content. Now, I personally think that, game prices are significantly undervalued for how much goes into them. I'm shocked that we're still only paying $60. Now, of course, you can make the argument we're paying $100 because the season pass is on the front end, but I like that it's an option. I like that I can get a base game for $60, and then, given my backlog, it'll probably be pretty cheap DLC when I have finally come around to buying it. And so I totally went off topic on your initial question.
No,
But
no. I think you make a good point in that a game can be well done, but if they do something that makes you feel like they're forcing you into a product or into an additional purchase that you didn't plan on making, it could ruin the experience for you.
Yeah.
So no, well said. I think you're absolutely right on that. Let me ask you this. I'm just curious now, because I think talking to you, listening to you talk about the achievement hunting, going for achievements, your excitement for it is incredibly infectious. I really do think you guys, that's what I enjoy about your podcast, because it's different. I only have a couple gaming podcasts on my phone. Mine is one of them, right? But I think it's because, and I enjoy listening to you guys because it's just such a different perspective. And it's something that's different than your typical gaming podcast, right? And so I'm curious, what is your favorite game this year so far? What do you think the best game is?
Best game this year
so far. If we were today to say game of the year, what would it be in your opinion?
We're actually getting ready to open that up at True Achievements to do the voting, and our staff list gets to go too. I'm trying to think of what actually games I played this year. That's one of the biggest things with having just a hideous backlog is my games end up being so old. I look at let me give you the games I've recently played. Going back, playing Gears of War 3, Titanfall 1, right? I've got a standing Titanfall 1 session with 10 members of the Z community. We play on Thursday nights, and we're just going through boosting. We spent 2 hours last 2 Thursdays in Last Titan Standing, where 4 people just ejected at the beginning of each match.
Wow.
And they count as wins. So we get our 50 Titan wins. And to be honest, it is the most mindless, dumb, we're not really even playing the game as it stands. But you get 10 people, like-minded people together, and some of the conversations that we have are just fantastic. And those types of experiences are really what drives us as a community to, we're getting achievements, but we're not competitively playing the game. We're not all getting in and trying to focus and like, oh boy, let's capture that point, and you need to flank over here and do that. No, you literally show up in the match, tap X, hit up, tap X until you shoot out of the Titan. That's the end of the thing for 2 hours, right? Wow. It's just dumb, but we have fantastic conversation. And so, you do silly things like that. I can't give it to Destiny Rise of Iron, even though I absolutely love that game. Sure. Because it doesn't add enough like what the Taken King did. I was going to give it to Taken King last year. Technically Rocket League came out for the Xbox One this year, and that game is just brilliant.
I mean, how much fun is that? That game is pure joy.
It is. And I'm going to take this as an opportunity. We are going to officially challenge you, XoneBros, to some Rocket League.
All right.
We've got 3 hosts. You've got 3 hosts.
Well, these 3 hosts. The problem is we have to practice. We had a tournament, a community tournament. I think last month, or it was just I think it was last month. And Jordan and I were a team, and we got destroyed like 10-0. 10-1, like it was pitiful. So we really got to practice. But I'm there. We're there. In fact, it should be like a New Year extravaganza. That's what we should make it.
We should have, and I feel like we should stream it, right? So all of our listeners can come watch. But part of me is like, we're all just because I hear you say you're terrible, and that actually makes me feel really good because Crandy just recently bought it, hasn't started it. Terrigan hasn't played it. I've played a little, and I've got, and again, I base my progress on achievements. I've been playing a little with my son, who, like, I just get achievements because he's a willing participant to get beat up on, right? So I can get the wins because if I can't beat a 5-year-old or a 7-year-old, then I'm in big trouble.
So you're saying we have a chance.
So I'm saying that it's going to be so much fun between the 6 of us, but it might be terrible to watch because
it'll be the ugliest game ever.
So yes, that has to be on the list because I really look forward to that, and I think we've had, like I mentioned earlier, we've had such great crossover because your community is so much fun. You guys are just an awesome group, and everyone just loves gaming, and so if you want to grab a couple achievements, come over and hang out with us for a little bit. You want to play with some of the other friends over at the X1. It's just brilliant, and so I can't thank your community enough for some. It's fun seeing some of them come over and say, hey, I heard about you through the XoneBros. This is a cool show. It's a cool concept. We got a lot of probably 6 or 7 regular listeners of yours came over, and I've started seeing their name pop up on the forums saying, hey, right. I got the gamertag challenge. Here you go. Right, throw my name in the hat.
All right.
So if that's what it is, if you want to show up once a month to submit for achievements, go nuts.
Absolutely. Well, I think that's the key. It's all about having fun, and that's why I love your guys' podcast. On that note.
Oh wait, I got my winner here.
Okay.
I got my winner. I totally forgot about this, and I just went through. For me, it's Inside, and
Inside was fantastic.
I know you. I had my own spoiler cast, and I recorded it by myself. So if you want it, it's special episode 38, where I went like for 45 minutes talking about Inside. And I had some takes that are a little different than what other people had, but the way that this evoked emotion in me, and the way I explained it in my spoiler, and I won't do any spoilers here, of course, is the emotional roller coaster I went on, where it's every like 15 minutes of playing, I was like, oh, okay, I know where this is going. Wait, what the? Hold on. Oh, okay, now I get it. Wait, what? What is happening? Oh, okay, I get, and it's this constant yo-yo of you think you got it, and they change it. And then you think you got it, and they change it. And then at the end, you're just, what? Like, I mean, it just, like, what happened?
Yeah.
And so then you replay it, and you say, okay, hold on. What am I looking? And then after you do the entire game completion, and I mentioned this in my spoiler cast, and I've talked about it on our show, the makers of Play Dead, who did Limbo, of course, we talked about that earlier, they were mad that people guessed what the actual story of Limbo was. There are two prevailing thoughts on Limbo, and if you are interested in, I 100% implore you, go to Kotaku, and they did what the actual meaning of Limbo is. And there's two schools of thought. And so if you play through the game and read through those, they're incredibly dark, but they're so fascinating. It's just the way that the mind works to get to that location. And if you had just recently played it and you think, oh my God, that is so brilliant. But that being said, the makers of Play Dead said, no. You will not guess what the real meaning of this game is. And so they purposefully made Inside remarkably obscure. And if you play through it, you
think
get
it's
that.
Going one way, and you think, okay, I think I see what they're saying.
Yeah.
And then they just throw curveballs at you, and you're like, what?
Constantly.
I don't know if that's what it is.
And so, and because, I mean, and you might not even think about it, but there literally is no dialogue in that game. There's not a single spoken word, not a single written word in that game. Yet it conveys a story that's so deep and complex that you're like, well, how? How does it do an emergent story like that without speaking any dialogue? It's a remarkable, tip of the cap to the developers who were able to put that together, and the painstaking amount of time they put into all the animations and just how beautiful the whole thing was. And the fact that when I was done, I had this invigoration just to reach out to the community and start asking questions. What does this mean? What am I looking? And to hear the prevailing internet wisdom, and you can hear my thoughts on my spoiler cast. It took my mind to places that it hasn't been in a while. Now, I have a code for The Witness, which is also well regarded, and people think that that's probably battling inside for top game of the year. I have to reserve judgment because I haven't played it yet, but I am very much looking forward to what Jonathan Blow has put through in that. A totally different experience, but I loved Braid, and a similar puzzle game that was my game of the year when it's still one of my top 10 games of all time, Fez by Phil Fish. I just love that game, and the amount of work that he put into that just blew my mind. And the game mechanics were so fun. So if you haven't played Fez, oh my goodness, that's one of my favorite games of all time as well.
Cool. Well, I mean, Inside is definitely competing for that top spot for sure. I mean, just looking back at the list of 2016, there's so many good games. It's going to be fun to see what everybody comes up with for top game of the year, who holds that spot. And I don't think there's going to be a consensus. I think it will depend on your taste, in all honesty.
And what I like is that there's at least contenders who are worthy of it.
True. I think your top five, your top six will probably everyone's list be similar. It's where they rank.
Yep. I played a bit of Overwatch, but I'm not an Overwatch guy. So I totally understand how amazing that is, and what Blizzard has done with that property. Fantastic, just beautiful. But it's just not my style of game per se. And it's actually probably one of those games that if I started to play it, that would be it. And my achievement hunting days would be over. I would, I'd be just constantly doing that. I'm still trying to kick the Destiny habit. So,
Well, with that, I wanted to ask you one final question.
Let's hear it.
Who should achievement hunt and why?
Well, it really is. It's kind of a collector. Right. That's kind of the mindset of somebody who enjoys that type of activity. The way I always approached it was, for me, I put money into a game and I want to experience everything that the developer has put forth in the game. And so typically that's playing through the campaign, mainline, you do what you need to do. And often achievement lists will showcase activities in the game that perhaps are overlooked. So if it's a multiplayer experience that, I don't really play a lot of multiplayer games because I have short windows. I can't be very good at it. So I tend to avoid them. But, maybe that's a really great experience that I would overlook otherwise. Maybe it's a mini game that, you need to try and get good at. Maybe it's some collectibles that add depth to the story. The achievement list for me showcases, it kind of flashes a light at all of the places that the developer wants you to look. And so I look at the achievement list as kind of a check mark of, did I do everything that the developer wanted me to? Awesome. I feel like I've gotten everything out of this game. I feel good about my purchase, and I enjoyed the journey. That's how I approached achievement hunting, and I know there are other like-minded individuals out there. Others, the other school of thought, I really like just seeing a score go up. I play Pac-Man, and I want to eat as many dots as I can because that tally just keeps getting higher and higher and higher. And, I can show you a list of games from 2014, 15, 16, and you could get 25,000 gamer score in a 24-hour period. It's been done. Terrigan's actually done something very similar. there are games like the most notorious is Avatar: The Last Airbender, The Burning Earth. It's an old Xbox 360 game that this was when achievement lists had first started. And so they didn't know how to score them. They didn't know how to do them. And so there are 5 achievements, each worth 250 gamer score.
Wow.
Right? An obscene gamer score. And here's what you have to do. Achieve a 10-hit combo, a 20-hit combo, a 30-hit combo, a 40-hit combo, and a 50-hit combo.
Wow.
Those are the 5 achievements. You can do that in the first 6 minutes of the game.
Wow.
During the tutorial, you can get up into a 50-hit combo. I don't know if there is a game after the tutorial. I got my 5 achievements, turned off the game, and sent it back to my buddy. That is a terrible achievement list, but it provides a unique experience where it's, how did I get that game, right? We were in a gamer competition. I needed gamer score real quick. I had a buddy who's local here in Minneapolis who had the game. He drove up to my house, handed me the disc so I could pop it in for 10 minutes, and I gave it right back to him. That's a different story, but a story nonetheless. And it's I got 1,000 gamer score in 10 minutes. There are tons of... Here's another example. I played and beat Hannah Montana the movie. Okay? That is probably one of the darkest times that I've, where I've stooped in my gaming is I've played Hannah Montana the movie. And not only that, but true achievements can be linked to Twitter. And so when you complete a game, it posts to Twitter. And so at 10:30 p.m., Freamhole has completed Hannah Montana the movie to all of my Facebook friends.
That's funny.
That was a great conversation to have, and I couldn't at 10:30 p.m. say, "Oh, that was my daughter, right? My 5-year-old daughter. Yeah, she helped me with that." No. There was no hiding the fact that I played that game legit. And you hear horror stories like that all the time. There's a game called Let's Cheer or Victorious where you actually are dancing with high school girls and it's motion controlled and you have to match that. They're remarkably easy gamer score games. You can get full completions in those in like 4 or 5 hours. And so they're enticing because it's quick, easy points, but you have to be a cheerleader for 4 to 5 hours. And for your typical gamer, maybe they don't have the body type of a high school girl.
Or maybe they do.
And they could do that too. Whatever floats your boat. But that's what's cool about achievement hunting is that there are so many different approaches to what type of gamer it is, because it really applies to everybody. Do you like competitive multiplayer? Guess what? There are games that have competitive multiplayer achievements. Do you like collectibles? Yeah, you bet there's achievements for those. Do you like single-player campaigns? Sure, we got those. Do you like completions? You can get all the achievements. There you go. Do you like gamer score? Here's a list of easy things. You can get real quick score, real quick points. I mean, there's so many ways to approach it. You just find what you like. I love campaigns. I love stories. And so that's how I typically go into it. I play the story, see how many achievements I get, and I look at the list and say, is that something I want to keep doing? Nope. Okay, see ya. I'm moving on to the next game. Or, oh, I only have to, do this? Oh, okay. Well, I can do that. Let's go see. And then on the flip side, it's, on multiplayer things where, I don't really want to play multiplayer, but I love hanging out with my friends. And so if I got 4 people and we want to get into a party together and just chit chat, yeah, let's get some achievements while we're doing it. We don't have to pay attention to the game. We can just goof around and talk about politics, sports, other games, whatever. Those are great too, because that's what gaming has become. It's our social outlet. We reach out. We have our friends here. I have friends in real life too. But to be honest, with how busy I am with everything, the gaming community is probably closer than any of my high school friends are nowadays.
Sure.
And we have more in common. Like my wife doesn't like video games. She thinks I'm ridiculous. My whole family thinks I'm ridiculous. But I've got a huge group of community members. I've got people like you, other podcasts full of awesome gamers who just love to have fun, and they love the feeling they get when, they accomplish something they've worked really hard on. And that's really what it is.
Well said. So to summarize, achievement hunt because there's a different experience out there, no matter what type of game player you are.
Find what tickles your fancy. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
if you don't know, get into a couple sessions with an achievement hunter. Do some boosting things, and some people draw the line and say, you know what, that's a form of cheating. You are playing the game in a way that's not supposed to happen. There's credibility to that. There are varying lines of what you consider cheating. Now, in the grand scheme of things, you're not cheating. You might not be playing the game they want you to play, and it might be ruined. What we like to do is we don't want to ruin the experience for somebody else. So if it's a competitive multiplayer game, we much rather you keep your achievements out of that, because you don't want two members of your team running off into the woods shooting each other in the head for an entire match, because that ruins the experience for the other 10 people in the lobby, because now it's a 6-on-4. That's just not for a 5-on, if they're unbalanced. That's just not fun for anybody. And so we like our little private servers. We like our, for Titanfall, for instance. The way you boost that is you change your region to Japan West, because nobody in Japan has an Xbox. And so if you're on the Japan West servers, you're only going to see boosters. You don't get randoms, because there's only the 8 people you brought with you in that lobby, and maybe the occasional, like we found a random 2 weeks ago, and he was just looking for, wins. He just wanted to boost with somebody and just didn't have a way to coordinate. So he just got lucky that we happened to be doing the same thing. And that doesn't detract from other people. And that, that's important, because we don't want to ruin anyone else's experience, but have a different experience within that game.
Yeah. Well, he is Brandon Fream from the Z to Z podcast. It's the Achievement Hunter podcast. Brandon, where can people find you if they want to get a hold of you?
Well, we have lots of spots. Probably the easiest is our Twitter at Z2Z, ZEDTOZED. If you're interested in our forums or any of the contests I talked about, forum.z2z.com is a great place to go. A lot of that information can also be found on our website, Z2Z.com. That's where all the shows are. If you're not interested in finding us through iTunes or Google Play or Stitcher or wherever you get your podcasts from, there's just so many ways to interact. And we spend so much time on TrueAchievements.com. I'd be remiss to not give them a plug as well. For achievement hunting, that is the site to go to. They have all their guides, the walkthroughs, and that it's a great community of people who are all interested in achievement hunting. So those are probably the best ways. If you want to see me personally, and you can send your hate mail, you can do whatever you want. I'm at Freamhole, FREAMWHOLE. And then you can find me on Twitter, and that's probably the best place, because it comes right to my phone. I don't have to go anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why everybody loves Twitter. It's just one big conversation, right?
So to everyone in your community, all of you X1 listeners, keep your eyes out for the Rocket League podcast head-to-head challenge, where somebody's going to actually, both teams are going to get embarrassed, but somebody's going to win.
Somebody's going to get really embarrassed.
Right. Someone's going to have an L and be embarrassed, and someone's going to have a W and be embarrassed.
The loser of the losers. So that's what that will be. Well, thank you so much, Brandon, for being on, and I hope everybody goes over and checks out the Z2Z podcast. If you are into achievement hunting, or if this is your first time hearing about achievements and achievement hunting, go check it out. It's the podcast for it. Thank you very much, and we'll have to have you back sometime.
Thanks. I would love to. I'd love to get on live at some point. I got to find a camera.
Absolutely.
And then I'll crash your live show.
That would be fantastic. Well,
it's awesome. I appreciate it. Thanks.
That's enough, the both of you.
Oh, this is the portion of the show where we talk about what we've been up to and what we've been playing for the week. Let's start down at the end with Mr. McSpicy.
This guy?
What did you do this week, man?
I ate a load of food.
Yes, as we all did.
Oh man, it was Thanksgiving. I got to watch the Cowboys destroy the Indians, which is very American, I think.
Yes, the Redskins.
I mean, not the Indians, but the Redskins.
It's not baseball. which
what I
is the
meant.
Cleveland Indians, which blew a 3-1 lead
That's what I.
to the Cubs.
I just thought that was funny. That Thanksgiving, I don't mean to, but the Cowboys just destroyed the Redskins.
The Redskins. Yes, the Redskins are good though. That was a good game.
Yeah.
It was awesome to
that
watch.
was a good
It was
game.
awesome to watch. I enjoyed that. So it was Thanksgiving. I'm very grateful for a lot of things, for video games, for my family, for all that stuff. I played quite a bit of Heroes of the Storm
Oh.
because I wanted that Genji skin.
Oh yes.
In Overwatch. I
And-
got it.
Yes, and how is it?
I haven't turned it on yet.
Oh, well, that's disappointing to hear.
Well, because I had now I have to get 4 extra characters by now doing that twice as much.
Yeah, 30 games.
You have to do 30 games instead of 15 now.
Oh, wow.
So, anyways, so I'm sorry, I messed up. It's the Redskins, not the Indians. So, but I played. I played I played a lot of games though. I can't remember. I bought a lot of games
Yes, you did.
because
Game you're looking forward to most playing that you just purchased.
Forza Horizon 3.
Oh man, I'm so excited to.
I
jump in that
couldn't.
with
I
you.
couldn't wait for Jono anymore.
Yeah, it's your collector's. It'll scratch that collector's itch.
I'm excited.
And if you're willing to pay $1.99,
You can get the map.
You can get the map where it shows you where all the collectibles. I love how, what's funny is like, I love in that game that they sell it for $1.99.
Yeah.
It's like it's like if they sold it for 15, like that would have been your pay to win type of thing. But I love that it's just like
It's $1.
It's $1.
You know what? Screw
You
it.
paid
If you-
$60.
if you want this,
if you
you can
give
have
us
it.
one more dollar, we'll show you where.
It is.
So
It is
funny.
good.
I got to pull up my list to actually see, but I did. This is one of the few weeks I can turn work off and just relax and
Oh, yeah.
enjoy. I did play some Diablo 3 some more.
Yes, you did. In fact, we all ran through.
Yeah, we did.
What are your thoughts on being back into Diablo 3?
That game's good.
It's just a good game. Yeah.
It's so good. I played and I streamed this. I think 3 days this week. Because I was like, why not stream?
Yeah.
Come hang out and I'll just
Why not
play
just do
this or whatever. I started a new character, a mage character, or a wizard. Did they call it a wizard in
Wizard.
that game?
Wizard.
And it's a mage.
It's mage in my eyes.
Yeah.
Will always be a mage.
So I was relearning the game, and it's good. Diablo 3 is a really good game.
Yeah.
And I'm a huge fan of Diablo 2 because Diablo 2 was a really good game,
Yeah.
and Diablo 1 in their own area and time that they came out was just fantastic. So I really like how I feel like Cyclops.
Yeah,
yeah,
with
you
the
do.
wizard
You just
beam.
beam stuff everywhere. You beam everything in sight. Yeah.
So yeah,
Well, what's exciting about Diablo 3 to me is I think Blizzard kind of stepped away from it for a while, but with BlizzCon, they had one of the, and I forget his name, I'm sorry, I don't know his name, but one of the original founders of Blizzard came on stage to talk about Diablo 3, and a lot of people didn't talk about it, but that's a huge deal because that shows that they're supporting it for they're in. The Diablo series is here to stay.
A lot of people, and I'll be one of the ones, myself included, I don't want to jump on like the negative wagon
Sure.
or whatever you want to call it. But from BlizzCon, I was expecting more from Diablo.
Sure.
They announced the new Necromancer class, which,
Yeah.
from what I
A new
understand,
class with
will
two
be
new-
will be paid DLC. Like you do have to buy it.
by
New
play it.
class,
the
2 new
Necromancer.
areas.
2 new areas, but
Diablo and Diablo 2.
no, just Diablo 1. And it's only filters. It's not exactly the original game. It's only
good
filters.
enough for me.
Which is good. I mean,
it's not the game. I had the impression that it was the game.
well, it is the game. You go down the
Tristram?
the Tristram, right? But I don't think I've seen people play it, and it looks like it's just a lot of filters, and you go down and fight the original bosses and stuff. But it's still, and they say like, the only 8 directions, but you can still move pretty smoothly just because it's in the Diablo 3 engine. So
Okay.
like, you can't.
So they couldn't. They
they
could only
couldn't
handicap
crappy.
up
Yeah, you can
form
only
so
make
much.
it crappy so much, right? You know what I mean? I mean, it still looks fun, and I think it's going to be a fun event, and that's great. But I feel like that's stuff they should do anyway. Like you.
Well, but
take-
what I'm saying is they weren't doing any of this stuff.
No, I know,
prior
I know,
to
I know, no,
BlizzCon.
no.
It seems like they're back and they're supporting Diablo, and that is good because what Diablo does for me is it takes the MMO aspect of dungeons
Yeah.
and grinding and loot and makes it just in a game.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't have to go to level cap in an MMO. I don't have to explore this huge world. I am there to loot and to go through dungeons.
Yeah.
That is it. And I think that that's a fantastic formula.
No, it really is. But I I think
You want to see a Diablo
I was.
4.
You were-
well,
he
no,
was
I
expecting more.
not necessarily to Diablo 4. I mean, you can stay on Diablo 3
Well,
for
and
as long as you
Season's
want.
coming to
But
console? That's
no,
huge as
that's
well.
all great. But I've already done all this for the past 4 years. You know what I mean?
But now you can do it on your console.
That's true. So, but no, I was just
See?
I personally was hoping for at least an expansion. You know what I mean? Like something to
Well,
get us.
That's why
You
I
know.
mean,
But I mean, it's not a knock on Diablo. I think Diablo is still a great
I
game.
think
I
that-
was just wanting a little bit more.
Yeah.
I guess
I think
I'm selfish.
they have to be working on
Oh, they're
Diablo.
working on
Well, I
something.
think
Yeah,
that
they're
was a
doing something.
nod. Having
Yeah.
one of the founders of Blizzard come out
Yeah.
to talk about Diablo and say we are supporting Diablo for 20 years in the future.
Yeah.
That is saying we're behind it. We're working on Diablo 4.
Well,
don't,
think
don't
about
worry.
it. Diablo.
They came out to say, Jordan, shut up.
Yeah.
Stop complaining.
If you really think about it, I
we're
mean,
here for you.
I don't know the exact numbers, but Diablo is a very successful title that they have. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
it sold fantastic.
But I do feel like they stepped away
I
from it
personally-
for a
Oh,
little
yeah, I
while.
do too.
That I think Diablo and the original StarCraft, they had their battle chest
Sure.
version. I probably bought that 6 or 7 times over my life
Yeah.
because I kept losing the discs.
So it was only $10.
Yeah, and you would just go to
Thank
Target.
you, digital technology,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, I was like, I want to play that game again. I don't have it. I'll just go buy it. Use my paper out money.
So anything else you played? Diablo? McSpicy?
Oh,
anything
yeah,
else?
that's pretty much it. I played Hearthstone and my usual, but
Yeah. Jordan, how about you?
yeah.
What'd you play this week?
Well, I'm going to tell you. I know it's
Tell
not.
me.
I'm
Tell it
going
to
to
me.
tell you.
Go ahead.
you know what?
It's
Can I
not,
hear too?
Yeah, it's not an Xbox game,
Okay.
but we're about games. I played Planet Coaster a lot this week.
And how is it?
It came out a couple weeks ago, but I bought it this week. It's good. It's the game where I just sit down in bed and I play it.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. I spent a good 4 hours on one roller coaster.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was just because you can make them like zoomy and fasty and unrealistic, but you can also make them realistic, and that's what I shoot for.
Okay,
You
gotcha.
shoot for the realism, baby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, because like you can make a roller coaster that makes the guy have like 9 G's, which will kill a person, right? But I go for the realistic, and I played a lot of that. It was very
Those
very
games are
relaxing.
fun. They're very addictive.
And then I did play Diablo as well. I started a new character a couple weeks ago, the Crusader, just trying to level up new characters because I have my
How is the
barbarian.
Crusader going?
It's going good.
How is it being back into Diablo? Even though you hate that game.
No, I don't hate
like
that
you
game.
just expressed to
yeah.
I don't hate that game.
all of
I
our
like that game a
listeners.
lot. I bought that game.
I got the impression that you hated it and you wanted it to die.
I bought that game 3 times. No,
Yeah.
I bought it twice. Sorry.
No, how is it being
I
back
liked
though?
it.
Seriously.
No, I like it. I
No.
never left.
You never left.
I was always there.
You were always there. That
I
is
was there.
true.
Whenever
This
they
is
came
true.
out with an update, I always jump back in. Like I've
This
been
is
to the other half of the castle, Leoric's Mansion, Leoric's Manor, and then I've been to that new island, Grey Hollow Island, I think it's called, up in Act 5.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
been there, done that.
Anything else you played?
I played.
You hopped into Elder
Oh
Scrolls
yeah, I
Online.
played. I played with Zulabus. He put up those
Yes.
community events, so I played with him. I really like Elder Scrolls Online. It's fun. We dueled. It took us like 20 minutes to kill each other.
Yeah. Now, how is the one Tamriel updates? How are you finding
I
it?
like it a lot. I do it. It's fun. I think
Do you think
not being like for
it's
example.
headed in the correct direction?
No, yeah, I do too. I think I wish they would do a few other things, but I mean, they're definitely. I think it's where the game that update right there, one Tamriel is what the survival update was to Division. I think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It really gets you back into it. Like I'm leveling a new character, right? A Dragon Knight. I like the fact that I've already done the Ebonheart Pack story, so I'm thinking about going and doing another story. Another. But
I would. Yeah.
I really like what they've done with it. The one Tamriel, the dueling is one of the greatest features. And I'm not gonna lie, ESO was fun.
No, it
You know,
was a ton of fun.
it-
It was frustrating if you were like McSpicy
Yeah,
behind
yeah.
us because we couldn't do dungeons together.
I thought you were going to say if you're like me and sucked.
no, no.
But we can still now that even though you do
now you can do dungeons.
Even though I do suck.
no, you should actually. We should all 3 just jump back in and do something real quick because it like David being max level with his character, or if you want to start a new character,
I'll probably start
me
a new one.
being mid, level or level 10 with the character I'm on right now, and you being whatever level you are. We can all go to one area and it'll scale accordingly
like that.
for each
That
other. You
was-
know what I mean?
that
And
was
we can
so
still play.
frustrating.
Think of it. I feel like it.
But I couldn't play with my friends.
Yeah.
It's very much
An
like Guild
MMO.
Wars now.
An MMO I could not play with my friends.
Yeah. It's very much like in this sense anyway, like if you played Guild Wars and you're max level and I just bought Guild Wars today and wanted to play with you, you can still come and play with me.
Yeah,
You know what I
okay,
mean?
yeah,
That's
they
what it's
adapt it.
more like now. You know what I mean? Which is a lot of fun. And then of course I played a lot of the Division. I really like the high value contract. targets. I like that a lot. And survival's just fun. I got so close to beating it today with David, but then we just got destroyed.
At the very end.
Like, we didn't even stand a chance.
No, we just got worked.
I didn't even see the guy until he killed me.
Until he killed me.
Well, but I think we have a good thing.
I saw him after his bullet.
I think you guys have a great thing going.
Yeah,
we
no,
really do.
I think I got a good build.
Communication is open. Lines of
I
communication
used
are open.
the shield, like you bought
the
that
ballistic
first time.
shield,
Yeah,
yeah.
the ballistic shield.
That helps a ton.
And then I grabbed the healing thing that you throw out, and it has the AoE healing circle. And I think the combination of those two is actually a really good build.
Yes, it is.
And because we went really
Interesting
far
fact.
with it. We almost lost, but then popped those, and we were fine. You know what I mean? Like,
Interesting fact.
And then
I
we
am
eventually
actually
did lose.
going for my main character for a tank build utilizing the ballistic shield.
I am been meaning to talk to was it D Mills that played with
Yeah,
us that
D
one
Mills.
time? D Mills. He me and Mark
Oh,
were
he's so
playing.
good.
Yeah, me and Mark were playing.
We
and
were
he,
struggling. He comes in. He's
He
like,
came in and just
"Yeah,
wiped the
work."
floor.
Killed
and I
everything
gotta
for us.
ask him like what build to do because I'm so out of it. It's like you know, I haven't played Warcraft in 2 or 3 years, and you just don't know what the rotations are anymore. You know what I mean? That's how I feel with Division. I gotta
Get
yeah,
back in it.
I gotta get back in it. But it's a lot of fun, and that's what I played this week.
Very nice. I played Titanfall 2, of course, with our community
Oh, yeah,
play,
I did
which
too.
I love. Let me tell you
I
about
think I forgot it because I got taken advantage
literally,
of.
and
in the
McSpicy,
corner.
I actually thought of you as I was playing this. I do so in twitchy shooters. I'm just not good. Like it's I am bottom of the pack every time. Like there's just no question. But with this, even though it's a quote unquote twitchy shooter, it's really not. And again, I'll reiterate this. Jordan and I talked about this last. It is a thinking man's shooter, and I do much better at it because there is more strategy involved, so to speak. Like, when do I drop my Titan? Where am I moving? I'll give you an instance. We played Capture the Flag. Tons of fun. And it's just figuring out, okay, that guy has the flag. I'm going to go for the flag right now. It's different. And I cannot explain it. I think it's the best shoot. I think it beats Battlefield 1, in my opinion, ultimately. It is the tightest controls. All of the weapons. You know games where you're like, I don't like these weapons. I'll never touch this class of weapon. Titanfall does not feel like that for me with any gun. Like, I feel like I could pick up any gun and have fun with it.
I agree.
Oh.
You
Yeah.
do?
You didn't.
Yeah,
you
no,
looked
I
at
do.
me like you didn't. I think it's the best.
Well, I agree
I
with
think
the
it's
weapons
the
part.
best shooter. I
I don't-
think the
yeah.
multiplayer is just on point. I have so much fun with that
Yeah.
game.
I agree with you. I agree with the weapons part. I don't know if I can say it's better than Battlefield.
I mean,
And I don't know if I can say Battlefield's
what's
better
the
than it.
discount
There's
that
two.
game has right now?
They're too
different.
hard.
And they're different.
I like them both so much. It's like if you had twins.
And I do like them for
You know what I
different
mean?
reasons. Like, for instance, I really love the slow, methodical operation mode that is Battlefield 1 operations, right? But I just love Titanfall.
But Titanfall
it
is
is so
fantastic.
much fun.
And that community play that was a good
It was
time.
tons of fun. Every
Yeah.
time I killed Shibu, which was a lot, I called it out. It's great. Also Toast, and
Yeah.
every time I killed him.
I think both of them
Right now, they're swearing at their speakers in their car as they're driving to work.
Yeah.
And whatever.
Yeah.
both of them and you are the ones that hurt me.
Oh, yeah.
Bad
It was
in the
us
corner.
three. We ganged up on Jordan and just
Yeah.
took him to town. Made him look like a little child in
was
his
pretty-
giant
it was
Titans.
pretty
So
bad.
this game is now, with the deals going on, is $36.
Oh, that is
Yeah,
an
that's a
excellent buy.
Well, what's so good about that is the game came out 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That is an excellent buy. It's
But
my.
I don't have time for this game.
This is true.
By the
And
time I
I-
have
see,
time for
that's-
this
I'll-
game,
I'll
it'll
even
be
admit-
$10.
See,
I'll
that's
even
where I'm at
admit-
with NBA 2K.
I'll even admit the single player was pretty decent.
Yeah.
It was good. I liked it.
Anyways, it's a really good game.
If you get this game, there is an achievement called the Gauntlet.
I've
that
seen
you're
it.
gonna
Yeah,
wanna-
yeah.
That's
That'll probably suck all my time.
that's hard. That is
Anyways,
hard.
really good game. I also jumped into Elder Scrolls Online, like Jordan said. And then Diablo 3 as well. And I've realized this. I always play the mage or a elf class. I always play a ranged class, right? A support class. I, in Diablo, am a barbarian. And I am having so much. I think my entire life I have been playing the wrong classes for me. I am having so much fun.
Well, the barbarian is very iconic of Diablo. Like it's
Anyways, being like
It's your
a
straight warrior class.
a tank going in there and just blowing
stomping,
things
just the
up.
jump in. Yeah.
Yes, I am just having a blast. So I think, are you ready for this? Because I was a mage in ESO. I think I'm gonna be a tank. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be. I'm going for a tanky build in those games. I think that's my new. That's where it's at. And think about it. Here I am, You know me.
Hi, David.
I run when we play games together. I'm the first guy in, no matter what. Whether
it is, it's totally your personality to be the tank.
Ill-advised or not, I just run in.
So maybe you'll survive.
Why have I been a ranged character my entire life? I like the idea of having magical
funny.
powers.
Why didn't we tell him this? There's
I don't
actually
know.
a class for him.
I
know-
actually blame you guys
I know exactly what you
for
mean.
not
though.
intervening.
I know exactly what you mean though, because I play a melee class in
Sure.
in every game. I
Okay.
can like the melee front.
Yes.
In World of Warcraft, I started a new character, a priest, a ranged healer, and I'm having a blast with it. And I think it's because
It
it's
fits your
different.
play style.
No.
Oh, okay.
But I just think
I think this fits my
Yeah,
play
but,
style.
like,
though,
it
it
ultimately.
definitely
Yeah.
does. It definitely does.
It's different. It's you're so used to playing ranged and by a different set of rules that
Yeah.
now that you're melee,
Yeah, I'm just having the funnest
you
time.
smash the rules in the face.
Yeah, smash those rules in the face.
'Cause that's what a melee does.
Right
That's
there.
his job.
Yeah, but and so like in ESO, I was in with the mage when I played ESO the other day, and I wasn't. I mean, it just doesn't jive now, especially that I'm a barbarian Diablo. I think I've just been playing the wrong class. I think I was not born this way. All right, I was born as a tank.
As a
that's,
melee, yeah.
That's me.
Think about how much heartache we would have avoided if we were to have told him there's a class built for you for running in, Leroy.
And I blame you guys. You guys were supposed to intervene
You
years
are
ago.
You are the Leroy Jenkins
years
of the group.
ago. I am. Yes. Yeah, this is true. This is very true. Anyways, that's what and then obviously the Division we talked about, and that's what I played this week. So much fun. This weekend is going to be a blast. In fact, tonight after the show, we're going to be gaming it up like it's 1999. Survival mode, baby. Here we come. McSpicy, let's take us out of here. What will you be up to this week, and where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Mr. McSpicy, and my gamer tag on Xbox Live is Mr. McSpicy as well. I kind of want to play The Witcher.
Oh,
I kind of want to play Diablo.
Oh, yeah.
I really wanted to play Diablo again. It's just so good. And I'll be playing Survival. That's my game plan.
That's a good
I'm gonna enjoy myself this week, if I can.
Amen. And where can people find you? Did you already say that?
That's how I started out.
Dang it.
It's okay. You were reading chat.
Chat again.
And whenever I talk, you kind of just stop
No,
paying
listen.
attention.
Oh, Mark's talking.
I know.
He's got nothing to say of importance. Jordan, how about you?
I'm Jordan the Man XOB. You can, everywhere. Right? You can find me
Everywhere. Absolutely everywhere.
I'll be playing the Division Survival, right? But mostly I'm kind of in limbo. I'm just kind of really just waiting for
Final Fantasy,
Tuesday,
baby.
yeah.
Final Fantasy.
I've already got my 12 pack of Mountain Dew.
Oh.
It's unopened per tradition. you know.
Per tradition,
it's
yeah.
unopened.
You pre-downloaded the Mountain Dew.
Yeah. I got the game pre-downloaded. It's on the solid state drive.
Yeah.
It's pinned as the #1 game. It's ready to go. I just have to wait till 10 p.m. Monday night. I've taken the day off of school.
Oh.
Hey, can I tell you something?
You
You know what?
can.
So like,
Yeah.
I'm getting my degrees in technology stuff right now. So I'm getting a lot of like Microsoft certificates and stuff like that right now. It's nice being in that field because, for example, like my teachers know that I won't be there Tuesday because of Final Fantasy.
Like they're aware
And
of...
they're like, oh yeah, I took last Tuesday off for the Division. Like it's like they're just like, oh okay, all right. And
They
like,
get it.
It's cool. You know what I mean?
It's not like a
it's
philosophy professor.
It's
that's
like, okay, don't do it. All the time, but I get it. They're just like, okay, that makes sense.
It's not
You're
like,
a Final Fantasy guy. I get it.
Yeah,
it's not like a philosophy professor that's like, I took last Tuesday off to read Faust.
Yeah.
Why? What is this? Video games are so beneath
Yeah,
me.
so it's just they get it. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like
yeah.
they understand. So I enjoy it. But that's really what I'm waiting for. It's just Tuesday to roll
Very nice.
around,
I am XoneBros everywhere. Follow me, Instagram, Snapchat. Although I don't Snapchat too much, I got to get back into that because that is a great way to
To
share
show off your ego.
to share my life with the world. Yes, Twitter is the big one. If you want to follow daily news on the Xbox, is all on Twitter.
XoneBros on Twitter.
Yeah, XoneBros on Twitter, XoneBros on Facebook. Go like our page over there. Also, daily news and events there. Go follow us and subscribe to our forums, XoneBros.com. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening this week. I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. Patreon is where you can support us as well. Also, don't forget Orient Digital, man. Go get those hard drives, baby. They're fantastic. But Patreon, XoneBros.com/support. That is honestly one of the best ways, if not the best way, to support the
I think
show.
it's the best way, personally.
It's the best way. There you go. From the mouth of babes. And
No,
McSpicy
I'm Mr.
is a
McSpicy.
babe. He's
Yeah.
a babe.
Hey, baby.
He's a babe.
Yeah, you got.
Thanks, everybody. Until next week, hope you blah 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 blah.